Hey yo, top5rapwebsite.com. You already know what's going on. I don't even have my little. Yeah, I know y'all love the pixel board. How you guys doing today? Had to turn my pixel board on. I know y'all love that pixel board. Another Friday live stream. Before we go into the topic today, which is the guy I used to be paid. Make sure y'all go subscribe to his YouTube channel. I used to be paid. We're gonna be reacting to one of his videos. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I see y'all. I used to be paid. Subscribe. He has a lot of good content. He does like more like a documentary style, but you know, shorter form. Say that 10 times quickly. You know, 15, 20 minutes, sometimes longer. We're gonna be reacting to this video right here. Drake and Nicki have overstayed their welcome. So I haven't watched it. You can see I've watched some of his videos, his more recent ones, but I haven't watched this one. I kind of think I know what it's going to be about, but we'll see really once we start watching it. But before we get into that, just some housekeeping. Obviously, you've probably gotten the notifications. The name has changed. Our name has changed. We go from top 5 rap website. I can't speak today. Top 5 rap website on YouTube to simply Top 5 Troy. So Troy is me, and you guys just call me Top 5, which is perfectly fine. Everything else, Top 5 Rap website is the same. Like Twitter is still Top 5 Rap website. Let me see. Yeah, the Twitter is still Top 5 Rap website, and then the Top 5 Rap website is still the same thing. Pull up my Twitter here. Boom. So these are still Top 5 Rap website. It's just a YouTube. I call myself trying to take good advice from the viewers. I did a poll on my YouTube. I wonder if I can pull that poll up. Let me see. I'm gonna switch the camera angle real quick. I don't want to give away any secret information. I just want to pull up this poll. Give me a quick second. Here we go. Alrighty, so yeah, I done a poll because people have told me like, yo, you should change the name. You should change the name, like in real life and on YouTube in the comments. And it's kind of been in the back of my head. It's really I'm more concerned about the content and like the videos I'm making, not like the name or like the avatar. Like I've had the same avatar for like forever, like for years. But recently people have been saying it more. So I put up a poll. I was like, let me just ask the people, put it in a poll, see what they say. I'm thinking the poll is going to be like 50-50, or people are going to say, nah, keep it. This is what you've been riding with the whole time. Don't change from it. This is your brand. But everybody like was like, change it. And even this is 70-30 now, but it was even worse than that. Like the biggest margin I saw was like 76 like to 20 something. So I'm like, damn, I didn't know y'all hated the name that much. Now the name is a mouthful, and people have said that it was obnoxious, which is fine. That was the whole point. So try to create something memorable that when people see it, like they remember it and they know it. But you know, I can see how this is hard to remember. So anyways, I just changed it, Top 5 Troy. It's all good. Islam in the chat. I asked for a name change a few days ago. Yeah, you were one of the people, and it was a couple other people too. So all you guys is combined, plus with what people told me. You know, there's a guy who told me years ago. I mentioned it in this video. Like one of my friends in real life, he told me years ago, like you should change it. He said top 5 media. He's like top 5 rap website. That's cool. The top 5 is the good part, but you boxing yourself in. Da, 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 da. Fine. I'm not married to the name. I'm willing to take good advice, so I changed it. So, anyways. That is the poll, 70-30, and plenty of comments. Like even if I read the comments, like even the people who like the channel, I've known it as top 5 rap website, but top 5 Troy is more personable and identifiable to you. Top 5 Troy got a nice ring to it. You're at a good point to do a rebrand. If you do it when you're bigger, it might not stick well, but you can think on it. So like pretty much this same day, I just changed the name, like probably later that night. O'Neal said Justin Hunt challenged you out. Yeah, shout out Company Man. He be in the videos, man. It's crazy because I've been watching Company Man's videos for like years. And I never, like, you just never know who's watching your videos, right? Especially mine. Like, I don't get like a bunch of views on my videos. So for someone who I've been watching for a long time, like Justin Hunt, Company Man, for someone like him to be like, to pop up in the comments section, I'm like, dang, like that's what's up. And even like Dead in Hip Hop, sometimes Dead in Hip Hop, I've been watching Dead in Hip Hop since I was like in high school. So sometimes Dead in Hip Hop will, you know, retweet on Twitter or they'll show love. I'm like, damn, like, and even the needle drop, like Anthony Fantano, he follows me, like, so every so often I'll tap in with him, just like, yo, what's up, make sure you're good, and you know, type shit. So like, these are like the biggest, you know, some of the biggest people on YouTube. So like, the fact that they're watching my videos is like, it's interesting because I'm a dude who get like a couple thousand on the video on a good day. You get me? You get me? So anyways, let me, Zero in the chat, shout out Zero. He said, let me try making you a new cover. See if you use that and mess with it. Yeah, I mean, send it over. Again, I'm not going to change my avatar until like probably later this year or end of year so that people can become acclimated with the new name first. Like you guys might recognize the avatar, but not the name yet. So I want to make sure people are acclimated with the name, and then I'll change the avatar. I don't want to go full rebrand name and icon yet. I think that's a bit much, especially for the people that's not on YouTube every day. So anywho, we jump right into it. Well, we didn't jump right into it, but we gonna get to it right here. I used to be paid. Again, go subscribe to his YouTube channel. Great channel. Last week we reacted to Luesta. In like the last 2 weeks, I used to be paid. He's very similar, and his thumbnails are fire, as you can see. Islam says you need to take advantage of what you got the past month. Make more good content. You're a blood brother. We have trust in you. Salute Islam. You know, I've been picking up. I've been dropping like what currency say? I've been dropping like bird shit. I've been dropping crazy, dropping video after video. Like them bitches slippery. So yeah, we trying to stay in that algorithm. But yo, let's get right into it. Drake and Nicki have overstayed their welcome. Let me see.
What's good, YouTube? It's Justice I used to be paying.
Oh, let me turn this up for y'all. There we go.
I'm back with another video. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about how Drake and Nicki have overstayed their welcome. But before I get into that, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Do all those things.
Oh, let me like bro video. Hold on. Bang. Okay, now we doing it.
It helps me out a ton. After this Drake and Kendrick beef, it became very clear that Drake's public perception has changed. Now, Drake is still the #1 rapper in the world in terms of numbers and popularity and all the metrics and plaques, whatever you want to look at in terms of like counting stats. He's still #1. That hasn't changed a bit. But you can tell that people are looking at Drake differently, let's just say. And it's because of a multitude of reasons. The first one being that in most people's eyes, he lost the beef. I know Drake stans are going to be mad and be like, what? No, he didn't. But in most people's eyes, even Drake fans, he lost the beef. And the other reason that people like to attribute to this kind of change of perception is obviously the accusations that Kendrick Lamar was making about Drake, and, you know, some of the stuff that people see online that they believe counts as evidence towards the things that Kendrick was saying.
Yeah, meet the bug. Turn them notifications on. Turn them notifications on my channel, man. Islam said, are you going to react to Eminem album? I don't think I'm safe to react to the Eminem album. I don't know how long you've been subscribing, Islam, but I reacted to just the Houdini song. I mean, people who are in the chat, a bunch of you guys know, I reacted to the Houdini song during a live stream, and they cut that shit off midstream. So I don't like certain artists, like I'm not a big enough channel to react to their music without getting a copyright takedown.
about Drake.
I might do an angry review of the Eminem album, maybe this weekend, but I don't think I'm safe to react to it.
Obviously, those two things together have combined to change the way a lot of people look at Drake, but that's not the only thing happening here, okay? When I was looking at how Drake is being viewed online, the videos being made about him, the videos I made myself, other people's content, other people's comments, just everything in general when it comes to the kind of general public's opinion on Drake, I was like, man, I've seen this somewhere before. I've seen other artists get treated like this, but I couldn't quite put my finger on it. I'm like, man, you know, this is reminding me of something, but I don't really know what. And then it kind of hit me like a brain blast in Jimmy Neutron. I was like, wait a minute.
Oh,
This is exactly what happened to Nicki Minaj.
Really?
The way that people are treating Drake right now is exactly how people treat Nicki Minaj. And in this video, I'm not talking about people who just say, I can't listen to women rap. They voice too high. They rap about their body count. Why the body count? It gotta be the high body count. I'm not talking about those people, okay? I'm talking about people who will actually listen to women rapping. Drake right now has a very similar reception to Nicki Minaj. It's not a one for one. It's not, you know, the exact same thing, but it's pretty close in my opinion. Whenever you see any Drake content online right now, almost any, whether it's good or bad, whether it's talking about the beef or his music or his lifestyle, where he lives, what he ate for breakfast that morning, whatever it is, most of the comments are negative. Most of the comments are going against Drake in some way. And the only people who
really? Let's see this. Let's see for sure. What's the most recent thing Drake has done? Probably the Camila Cabello song. God, I'm searching this now. I'm going to be recommended stuff like this. I should search this in incognito so I don't get recommendations. Let's see. Oh, he's right. Drake makes music for 3 a.m. falling asleep driving home. I like Drake with the melodies. Kendrick gonna drop a song with Sean now. Okay, he's right. He's right.
really seem to be defending Drake are his stans. The people who have him since day one, their greatest rapper of all time. They love Drake to death. They'll even put Drake before Logic. And I don't mean
Shout
rapper,
Jimmy in the
I
chat.
mean like common sense Logic. They'll put Drake before anything, any of that stuff. Those are the only people that are defending him right now. And that's a very similar thing that happens to Nicki Minaj. Outside of her fan base, which admittedly is massive, one of the biggest in rap, and
Facts.
most, I feel like, not, well, I can't say most, but a large percentage of female rap fans are Nicki fans.
Facts.
Maybe even most.
That's
Outside
facts.
of those people, most of those fans have a pretty negative perception of Nicki right now. They're not too fond of her. They tend to go the other way when it comes to Nicki Minaj. If they're a female rap fan and they're not a fan of hers or they're not a stan of hers, they tend to not.
Well, but that's because Nicki be picking fights with all. She be picking fights with all the new rap girls. Even Ice Spice, who she was cool with. I'll follow the female rap room on Twitter, but I don't be deep into the female rap stuff. Like the stand bases and stuff is just a little bit too cringy for me. But yeah, Nicki she be picking fights with everybody.
Like her.
She want the smoke.
And there's also a bunch of think pieces coming out about Drake right now, a bunch of criticisms about literally everything, his music, his life, all that stuff. There's a bunch of questions being raised. Is Drake really a P3DO? Who's the mole?
P3DO.
Drake really did have a daughter.
Hey, yo, everyone is so scared, including me, to say the PDF file word on YouTube because they'll take your video down. They'll watch your video, strike your video, take it out the algorithm. That's the first time I heard P3DO though.
Does he not have a daughter? Does Drake really have BBL abs? And if he does have BBL abs, does that mean he hates himself? Oh my God, what's Drake gonna do next? Did Drake, I don't know, kidnap Lil Yachty? Is he trying to steal Lil Yachty's sauce? Is Drake even black? Is Drake a colonizer? Is Drake really a part of the culture? Did Drake really steal all of the sauce from Atlanta? These are things that have been happening to Nicki Minaj for the last couple of years now. The think
Really?
pieces and character breakdowns
Really?
about her, everyone pretty much outside of her stands going against her, and also more specifically
I didn't
when it
know
comes
that.
to Drake and this Kendrick beef. And you know, I feel like a good percentage of people were already on Kendrick's side as it started. Like there was a large percentage, maybe even most people were kind of rooting for Kendrick. But not all of those people that were rooting for Kendrick because they were huge Kendrick fans. They loved Kendrick.
Well, let me say this. I think it's more so because Drake and Nicki were involved in public rap beefs with other rappers. That's why you have these narratives against them where it's like, You know, you've got the hate wave of comments and XYZ. It's because they were in beefs. Like Nicki was in a rap back and forth with Megan Thee Stallion, with Lotto, with Cardi B, like with pretty much with every female rapper out there that I can think of, and then obviously Drake, Kendrick. But I haven't heard the narrator here describe why he thinks the reason is. I think it's just a consequence of being in a rap beef. You're gonna have waves of hate, you're gonna have waves of support, and that's gonna last for like a couple months, especially when the Kendrick and Drake beef is so fresh. It's fresh right now. It's only happened 2-3 months ago. Really 2 months ago, not even 3 months ago. So
Kendrick Lamar, they think he's better than Drake. That wasn't the case. A lot of, well, not for everybody, but a lot of people were rooting for Kendrick Lamar just because he was going against Drake, and they don't like Drake. So in terms of like the breakdown of the fans, there was the Drake side, there was the Kendrick side, there was the neutral fans, and then there was people that were on Kendrick's side just because they hated Drake, just because they wanted to see him lose. And if you take out Kendrick Lamar and replace him with literally anybody, they would have supported that person because they hate Drake that much, or they just...
Yeah, O'Neal, I think you're right. O'Neal in the chat. These narratives around Drake existed for a while, right? Yeah, Kendrick didn't bring any new dirt on Drake, right? Yeah, those videos with him and the 17-year-old, the Millie Bobby Brown, the Georgia Smith, all that has been around. Kendrick didn't even get a chance to bring all that stuff to light again. He just kind of condensed it, you know, or I wouldn't say condensed it. He mentioned it and he referenced it in his songs and Meet the Grams and Not Like Us. He referenced some of the stuff, but he didn't really condense it and package it and show you everything at once. Sorry for bad English. Bad English, that's funny. 17 minutes late, but it's cool. We're only like 5 minutes into the video, so you're good.
Just want to see him fail that much. They don't like Drake. And this has been a major staple of Nicki Minaj's career. That's like the story of her life when it comes to her rap career. That's why back in the day when, you know, Remy Ma came out of jail and her and Nicki started beefing, a lot of people started backing and supporting Remy Ma, and they never even really listened to her before that. They just wanted to see somebody beat Nicki. And especially Cardi B. When Cardi B became like Nicki Minaj's main op, she gained a lot of fans because a lot of people wanted to see her go against Nicki and defeat Nicki. Now, that's not for me to say that Nicki Minaj gave these women a career and that they had no fans and no support before Nicki Minaj started beefing with them, but there's no denying the fact that once their problems with Nicki Minaj became public knowledge, they saw an uptick in support. And again, I want to make sure that y'all don't think I'm saying that about Kendrick either. Obviously, Kendrick has fans and he didn't need people that hated Drake to be on his side, but there still was an uptick in support in these people when they go against Kendrick, or when they go against Nicki, or when they go against Drake. Just as of recently, we saw it with Lotto and Meg Thee Stallion. People were supporting Lotto when she was going against Nicki and calling her a bully and old and all that stuff. And then with Meg Thee Stallion, her song Hiss literally went #1 partially due to the fact that she dissed Nicki Minaj on the song. It also...
I heard that and I reacted to that song. I heard that the Meg Thee Stallion Hiss song was a diss to Drake, actually. I need to re-listen to it with new ears, but I heard it was actually more aimed at Drake.
Didn't hurt her that Nicki like was crashing out on Twitter and going crazy and basically doing free promo for the song, having these manic IG lives where she's losing her mind. Like, that didn't hurt. Okay, those also helped because Nicki was kind of just doing free promo for Meg, but there's no denying that there's a boost in support when these artists go against Drake or they go against Nicki. Both Drake and Nicki do lots of...
I think in a rap beef, anyone is going to see a boost in support. So I think even Drake fans, Drake saw a boost in support when he got into... Well, the narrator would probably disagree with me, but I think Drake, his fan base gathered around him. The people who like Drake, they gave him an extra boost when he was doing the beef. Now, sure, he lost. Yes, he lost, sure. But I think when you're in a rap beef, people are going to take sides. And yeah, when you're like a super... It's like the Patriots, right? New England Patriots. They dominated football for so long. We want to see anybody beat them, right? Or LeBron, when he was in the Eastern Conference. You want to see the Pacers, the Hawks, somebody, please knock LeBron off. The Magic, I think it's just fun to see the greats tested in a way. But I also think when you're in a beef like that, a rap beef, you're going to see a boost in support regardless of who you are. You're going to see a boost in stats. You're going to see a boost in engagement, people talking about you, no matter who you are. Controversy sells.
Worthy things, and there are legit and valid reasons as to why they have the amount of haters that they do, but I do think that there are things that are being overlooked here. I think there's one thing in particular that's being kind of missed by people when they talk about the way that the public is currently treating Drake and Nicki Minaj. And I think it's the fact that these two have kind of overstayed their welcome. People are tired of these two in the spot they've been in. They have been two of the biggest rappers in the game over the last like 12 to 15 years. Drake has been the biggest rapper in the world, and Nicki has been the biggest female rapper in the world, but not just that, one of the top 5 biggest rappers in the world too. These two have had generational runs of longevity.
Oh, what Jay Prince having with him right there? Jay Prince got him a little shorty right? What the hell going on right there? Shout out Jay Prince. He got him a little Latin ting.
Generational runs of longevity that has really never been seen before. Rappers remaining the top dogs in rap for like 12 years really hasn't been done before.
Right, that's true.
Rappers have had 20 to 30-year careers.
Very
that were
few.
Successful the
Very
entire
few.
time, and they had big fan bases and did numbers. And
There's very few rappers who have gone like on a 15, 20-year run. I could probably name them right now, and were popular throughout different parts of that 15 years. I'm talking they had hits in the beginning, they had hits in the middle, had hits in the end. It's a very short list. Jay-Z, you could argue Nas. When was Nas's last like big song? Obviously Nas is still doing quality records. I would add Nas because he's relevant. Like when he drops, people care. Jay-Z, Nas. A name that very few people will name is E40, but E40 has had hits all the way through. From the beginning, The Mailman, Captain Save-A-Ho, until recently the past 5-6 years, the I Don't With You song by Big Sean, like E40 is one of those. Very short list. That's why it bugs me, like when like old heads in hip hop, they're like they still think of Drake, Kendrick as the new guys. They think of like, that's the new generation, the newer generation. They're not new, bro. Do people realize that like Kendrick and Drake have had longer runs than Biggie, than Tupac? They've had longer runs than like 99% of any rapper to ever exist. I just don't understand when the OGs like, they talk about, the newer Kendrick and Drake and Wiz Khalifa and these type, Big Sean and all them. These are not the newer generation. They've been in here 15 years. Tyler, the Creator, Earl Sweatshirt, 10, 11, 12 years. A$AP Rocky, 10, 11, 12 years. O'Neal in the chat, he said Drake and Nicki just became unlikable. Honestly, Wayne didn't get nearly the same hate. Bro, that's very true. And has been one of the biggest rappers for decades and put both of them on. That's facts. O'Neal in the chat cooking. That is true. Wayne did not get, like he didn't live long enough to see himself become the villain, right? And Wayne has been here. Even though his production has slowed, he still drops music. He still dropped a fire feature. And I'm someone that's really never liked Lil Wayne's music until like Lil Wayne from like 2013 onward, I think is one of my favorite versions of Lil Wayne other than Carter 2, but that's a whole different video. Shout out Dirty Bubble in the chat. But yeah, Wayne did not get that same hate, and we could probably think of other artists who have been around a long time, but did not get this same hate just because they've been around. Like I think what O'Neal in the chat is saying, I think he's saying like Drake and Nicki are not getting the hate simply because they've been here a long time. He's saying they became unlikable, which I would make that argument, honestly.
Like 12 years really hasn't been done before. Yes, rappers have had 20 to 30-year careers that were successful the entire time, and they had big fan bases and did numbers and shows and all that stuff. But none of them have been consistently undisputed number one in terms of like pop culture and numbers like Drake and Nicki have.
Well, Drake was not the undisputed number one. Drake and Kendrick and Big Sean all came up during a time with intense competition. That blog era, Drake and Kendrick and all these guys, their blog era. I saw something on Twitter like about Big Sean, about why he isn't put on a certain tier, or why he's not looked at how he should be. Bro, Big Sean had tough competition. If Big Sean came out like 5 years before or 5 years after, he would have got more love. And he got a lot of love. But he should be like one of those generational guys. He should be looked at like that. But he had tough competition, man. Like, it was a lot of competition back then.
There's an entire demographic of rap fans who don't remember a time before Drake and Nicki being at the top of the rap game that now are part of like consumer culture.
Right.
They are now buying tickets. They are now going to shows. They are now buying merch. There's
a chick or a guy who was born, let's say, in 2005. Let's say Drake became popular in 2009. Someone who was born in 2005, they're like 19, 20 years old. They don't remember a time in rap without Drake. As wild as that sounds. Now, depending on your age, you guys in the chat, depending on your age, that's either going to sound crazy, like what? Like, yeah, someone who's 20 years old, born in 04, 05, they're 20. They don't remember a time in hip hop without Drake. Some of y'all who are younger are going to be like, yeah, of course. Like, yeah, we grew up on Drake. Let me age myself. I was in high school when Drake came out. I remember a time before Drake. I was like junior high school going into high school, really, when Drake came out. So, 09, it depends. Let's say high school. I was in high school when Drake came out. That's crazy to think about. There's a lot of people, like most people you who are on hip hop Twitter and all this, 20 years old and younger, they don't know what hip hop is without Drake, without Kendrick. That's the crazy part, man. Like they look at Kanye West like she's super old. I remember when Kanye West came out. I was young, but I remember that.
Consumer culture. They are now buying tickets. They are now going to shows. They are now buying merch. There's an entire buying group of people, an entire customer group of people that don't remember a time before these two being the #1 rappers in the world. And just
right. And I don't mean to keep stopping the video, but I had to look at this chat. Snoop Dogg, KML Trey's right. Yeah, so Wayne is one of those guys who didn't become unlikable. Snoop Dogg. And Snoop has been around. He's had hits all throughout his career. Baby Keem has also overstayed as well. That's facts.
You know, just throw it out there. I do remember sometimes before it was all Drake. Okay, I remember the Lil Wayne days. I remember when Lil Wayne was undisputed #1 in terms of pop culture and all that stuff. So just want to throw that in there. Rap is and always has been a young genre. It's been a young man's game, and that's no disrespect to the old heads, but that's just the truth.
Yeah.
The young determine who's at the top of rap. The youth determine who's the superstars of this generation. And in general, the young guys kind of come in and take everything away from the older guys. That's just how things seem to have worked over the last 50 years now.
You know what the issue is? The issue, going off of what he just said, no one has come to take the throne from Drake. The rappers who had came out during the blog era, 08, 09, 10, 11, during that era, they are still the most popular rappers. Drake, Kendrick, when Wiz Khalifa drops, when he wants to do a mainstream song, he's going to chart. I said Nicki, Future, A$AP Rocky, Dirk is from that. Dirk was like right after the blog era. He's like the drill era, which came literally right. You could call that the tail end or the dying end of the blog era, like 2012, 2013. Dirk. All these guys are still, who were hot then, are still hot now. There has been no wave of artists, newer artists, to come and take the throne. When the blog era artists came, they came and took the throne from those rappers of yesteryear. Like when they came on the scene, they grabbed it by the horns and ran with it. The newer era was supposed to be like Lil Yachty, Lil Uzi Vert, Kodak Black. I'm just trying to think who was on those XXL covers. Playboy Cardi. And a lot of those dudes just suck. Honestly, their music is not good. So what happened is they had their shine. I'm talking about, those guys I named, and they fizzled out. They didn't grab the horns and become the superstars. Like when Nicki came on the scene, she took the crown from Lil Kim. Like she wanted the smoke. She engaged in lyrical warfare with Lil Kim, took the crown, and has never let it go. And I think in a way, Nicki is looking for the other girls to do that to her. Nicki's not going to be someone who just passes the throne. Like, okay, you're next. And neither is Drake. Especially Nicki. She's like, yo, one of y'all come take it from me. And it seems like the girls they scared. I don't want to say they're scared of the smoke with Nicki, but I think it's more political to where they don't want to. I don't know. They all grew up on Nicki. They had to. She was the only female rapper out when she came out. But the issue is that newer artists like Yeet, all these people who are supposed to be next, whose music Destroy Lonely is just not that good like that, they need to come and take it from Kendrick, from Drake, pause. And they haven't. Jay Phoenix said SoundCloud era. SoundCloud era, what? Yeah, SoundCloud era, that was after the blog era. SoundCloud era, what year would I attribute that to? Like 2014 to like 2018. Kendrick took the throne. Yeah, Kendrick came, took the throne, and he also had it passed down to him. Yeah, the blog era was crazy. Missed those days. Yeah, you used to just go nowright.com to dopeboys.com and find all the music. Hungry for music. You know what I mean? Like, I listen to stuff from, it's crazy. We would listen to whole albums by artists we don't even know just to see what it sounded like. And I think that curiosity is still here with us today as consumers, but the avenues are not the same. Like, instead of blog eras, and then that's how I discovered The Weeknd. The singer The Weeknd, he posted them on Two Dope Boys. I was like, okay, this album cover looks cool. Clicked play, heard it. Oh, this fire. A madness to my iPod. Remember iPods? Madness to my iPod. And then boom. Mainstream hip hop is useful, but the best right now is from older dudes: Billy Woods, Griselda, Kyle Rock, all older dudes. Right? Dirty Bubble. Facts. That's facts. And facts. Also, J. Cole, older dude. J. Cole about to be 40. Kendrick, older dude, going on 40. Drake, going on 40. You know what I mean? Like, all these guys have been in the game. Even Tyler probably like mid-30s type shit. That whole hip hop is a young man's game is bullshit. Hip hop just turned 50. Our legends have are only in their 50s and 60s. That includes Jay Nas. Yeah, hip hop is very young, and a lot of our legends are still alive. Like, it's crazy to think that the originators of hip hop, the people who were there in the very beginning, are still alive. Veronica, yeah, press like, everyone. Shout out to Veronica in the chat. Everybody press like. Let's get right back to it.
Of hip hop, but once Drake and Nicki kind of got to the top, they've been there. Nothing has changed. Okay, yeah. People have came and went since these two have gotten to the top, but those two have remained the number ones for the entire time. Even now to this day, when both of them have been at the top for more than 10 years and they're both pushing 40. Drake is 37 and Nicki is 41. Now, in real life, that's not old, okay? So if you're that age, that's not old, all right? I'm not saying that's old. But in rap, in terms of rap, that's old as hell. Just being real. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but again, like, let's just really talk about it. And I know some of you might be saying, well, you know, there are guys like a Kendrick and a J. Cole and a Jay-Z and Eminem and Lil Wayne
far and few between,
and Snoop Dogg, who have all had 20-year careers and been extremely successful. But there's a difference between Drake and Nicki and all those other massive hip-hop artists that I just named that have great careers and did numbers in the past and will always do numbers no matter what. There's a difference. Those guys don't really worry too much about being consistently in the limelight. You don't see everything that they're doing posted on the blogs, on academics, and the Shade Room and Rap TV. You don't really see that from them. You don't really see them appealing to the newer audience, trying to make music for the newer audience. You don't really see those names that I listed unless they're dropping music or they're performing. If Kendrick isn't dropping music...
Well, to be fair, Snoop Dogg is everywhere. Snoop Dogg will do music with anybody, it seems like. Shout out Snoop Dogg.
You don't know what he's doing. You don't hear from him. Same thing with Cole. Same thing with Jay-Z. Same thing with Lil Wayne. Same thing with Eminem. The only guy you really kind of hear from is like Snoop Dogg, but that's just because he does so much outside of rap. And the only real other older statesman that you really hear from is Ye. And Ye is just kind of an anomaly in itself. I just kind of push him out when I'm talking about this conversation because he's arguably just as big outside of rap than he is in rap. And also he's like a crazy just controversy magnet. Okay, everything he does is controversial. Everything he's trying to be, so he's a little different. Okay, I kind of push Ye to the side, but that's the difference between these rappers and Drake and Nicki. Their lives aren't constantly in the limelight anymore. They're not trying to be number one pop culture wise anymore. But these guys are. That's why you see Drake all over these blogs and all in pop culture. They don't care about that stuff anymore. Kendrick and Cole, they still want to be number one in terms of like the best rapper. They want you to consider them the best rapper. They're going to make their claim to be the best rapper. Drake and Nicki still want to be considered the best rapper, but they also want to be number one in terms of numbers.
Yeah, they still want to be popular. Drake and Nicki, I can see what he's saying. Yeah, Drake and Nicki, they want to be number one amongst everyone like that, and they're willing to compete. They still want to compete with everyone, including the new people. Like they want to, like when Drake drops music, that's why he hires writers like Lil Yachty who appeal to a younger demographic. He wants his music to be played amongst a younger crowd. He wants to continue to grow. And I think that's the better way to say it. The artists that I used to be paid just named, Snoop, Kendrick, Cole, they're not in their growth phase. Like I think they're content with their audience. Their audience will grow. If it does grow exponentially any further, it's going to be because of word of mouth. Like Drake is still in this growth phase. He wants to continue to grow. Like he wants to continue to get bigger, bigger internationally, bigger with the people who are going from, kids to turning teens. I'm not saying in that way, but he wants to grab like the kids who are turning into teens and who are just now listening to their own music for the first time. He wants to be in their headsets. He wants to continue to grow. Those other artists, like a Snoop Dogg, like a, who else did he say? Kendrick, Cole, they're not in their growth phase anymore. They're not trying to grow exponentially like they were trying to grow at the beginning. And I don't know, but I don't really pay much attention to Nicki Minaj, but Nicki still wants to compete. Like Nicki's like dang near the same age as Lil Kim, Gangsta Boo, all them, the rappers who came before her. She's in their age cohort. Nicki wants to still compete. Nicki, you gotta remember, Nicki, for most of her career, she's been the only female rapper in the mainstream. So now the past 3-4 years, we've got a large abundance of female rappers. Like Nicki, she still wants to spar. Nicki has 0 classic albums. I mean, I agree. I mean, I don't listen to Nicki Minaj. Can Drake get any bigger? He's big already. Pause. But yeah, I think Drake can get bigger because Drake has his current fan base, right, which is huge. But he can get the younger audience too. The younger audience who look at J. Cole and Kendrick, like how we were talking about earlier, like, there are kids, there are people who are 20, 21 years old. They don't even know hip hop without Drake. When Drake came out, they was 3-4 years old. They don't know what hip hop is without Drake. So those same kids, there are people younger than them who are going to come of age, 13, 14, 15, 16, start listening to their own music. Drake can along with his current fan base, he can go get those kids too. He can get that younger age cohort. He can get bigger overseas. He can still get bigger. No such thing as overstaying your welcome if there's demand for your product. That's facts. Just because we allowed the first generation of our legends to get thrown out shouldn't set the precedent for hip-hop's legacy, because the early generation didn't know hip-hop would be around. Yeah. Shout out to Aaron in the chat. Drake and Nicki are struggling to mature. I wouldn't wager that they're struggling to mature as people. But again, I don't know these people personally. I think their music personally sounds as immature as it does. Like Nicki being 40 years old, rapping about I'm a super freak and all this. And then Drake, having Lil Yachty and these super young-minded people write for him. They are trying to appeal to the young audience. They're still trying to compete. So I would say Bronxies. I would say rather. I don't think Drake and Nicki. I wouldn't say personally as people. They're struggling to mature. I would say they're purposefully stunting their music's maturity. They're not rapping what they could be rapping about, for their age group, because they want to compete and appeal to a younger audience. Cole looked like the deep fake Kendrick using his face on tour. Especially Nicki. Let me see what else we got in the chat. 2003 example, I'm 21. Drake was the first rapper I remembered. He was the first rapper I claimed. Think about that. We got somebody in the chat. He says Drake is the first rapper I remember. Basically saying, correct me if I'm wrong, Jimmy, Drake is the first person you ever heard rap. These people are amongst us, and they're not kids. Like, they're not kids, bro. Like, saw the title and couldn't agree more. Sick of both. Let me see. I think Nicki and Drake might have developed a big ego problem over the years, which probably turns certain people off. I think you can say that about any artist, any rapper. If I knew Kendrick personally, and you look at Kendrick back when he first started versus now, Kendrick probably has an ego problem. J. Cole probably has an ego problem. That's probably why J. Cole is how he is right now. His ego got too big and he put himself in check. You know, like, fuck, I'm going to just ride bikes and dress like a homeless person because I was off my rocker a little bit. My ego is getting too big, so I'm going to keep that in check. I mean, I would say when you get that big pause, I mean, you naturally are going to have to put your ego in check. Or you don't put your ego in check, but the ego is going to grow regardless. 40 is an ancient trust. If Nicki was liked, people would still gravitate to the music. Yeah, I don't think Nicki wants to be liked, though. Especially by her incumbents, like by the younger women in rap. I don't think she wants to be liked by them. I think she wants to challenge them. I think she wants one of them to take the throne from her, like she took the throne from Lil' Kim. Nicki took the throne. Like, she was jabbing at Lil' Kim for years. And then when Lil' Kim finally bit the bait, Nicki just completely embarrassed her and offed her. And that was like the last that we heard of from Lil' Kim musically. It was her beef with Nicki. But I mean, some of y'all were like apparently 6 years old at the time, so maybe you don't remember. Problem is their nasty attitudes and dirty deeds behind the scenes. Everyone isn't lying to them. Well, I mean, again, I can't speak to that. I never met them. But there are people who are liked, you know, by the fans and who haven't had this issue of overstaying their welcome in other genres. Like Beyonce, people say she's not the nicest person. But she hasn't had what I Used to Be Paid is describing in his video. Trying to appeal to kids is a problem. I mean, they want to grow. So yeah, let's get back to the video. Y'all probably pass by Cole in the street and avoid him because he looked home. Yeah, I think Cole lives in New York. I don't live in New York, so I would never even come in contact with him.
And pop culture, they want to be both. And that's the major difference between Jay-Z, Lil Wayne, Nas, and all those dudes who are still making music to this day and still have great careers, and Drake and Nicki. Both Drake and Nicki make music that appeals to the youth. Both of them get criticized for not really growing and maturing when it comes to their music.
Yo, bro, I can stop the video right now. I swear, me and the chat, we've already covered this.
They make their music to kind of fit into the sounds that are popular
Subscribe
now.
to the channel.
Kind of adapt their music to some of the stuff that's bubbling up and that appeals to the younger audience. They both get criticized for not growing up with their audiences. If you are a Drake fan, or if you were a Drake fan when you were 20 years old in 2009 and you loved his music and related to everything he was saying,
40 now.
Now you're 34, 35 years old in 2024 and you've grown. You're probably an entirely different person.
Yeah,
You've
hopefully.
evolved. You might have a family now. You might have a couple kids. You're living a totally different lifestyle than what you were when you were 20.
Yeah.
But Drake is still kind of in that same mode.
Yeah.
He's still kind of talking relatively about the same or similar things.
I would say Drake has regressed. I feel like when in 09, 010, when Drake was first coming out, like the So Far Gone and Thank Me Later, his music was mature for his age. The way he was talking about stuff, like, what did he say on Thank Me Later? He said, about that same time where your idols become your rivals, you want to do something, and you got beef with Mike, you got to AI him for your survival. Like, he was really talking like, he was up here. Like, he was mature. But yeah, now he's appealing to a younger audience. And I think that turns a lot of people off because they can hear it. It's kind of cringy at times for me. I don't know how, for Drake fans, how they actually feel. But my girl was a Drake fan. She liked Drake's earlier music. She don't listen to Drake no more. But Drake also doesn't make R&B music that much anymore, and she liked his R&B stuff, like karaoke and all that. So
Same with a Nicki Minaj. Now, that doesn't mean that you, as an older Drake fan, now can't enjoy his music.
About the same time, when your idols become your rival, you make friends with Mike, but you got to AI him for your survival. That's the bar, like that.
Doesn't mean you just, can't listen to it anymore. You're not allowed to listen to it. But it's very clear that those fans are no longer the intended audience. It's very clear that the younger fans are the intended audience.
True.
Drake doesn't intend on, at least not right now, he doesn't intend on growing older and wiser in his music. He's not rapping about what it's like to be, close to 40 years old and his son growing up in front. He's not really rapping about that stuff for the most part. Drake is still rapping about, going to the club and, being with this 21-year-old girl. She says she's 21. I don't see a savage. Or he's rapping about Lotto's little sister who's 21 and all that type of stuff. Like, he's still talking about being with every girl in the world. And, that's cool and stuff. But, like, for the older fans that have grown up with Drake, that's probably not really their reality anymore. They're probably a little bit moving on past that type of stuff. They can still listen to it, of course, but it's just very clear that he's not really making music for 30 to 45-year-old audiences. He's still making music for the people that are in the clubs, the young people like myself. This is why they both tend to have a lot of very young artists around them that are kind of, like, in a way, keeping them in touch. Like, Drake has become best friends with Lil Yachty over the last, couple years, and you can really see it, in real time, the changes that have happened to Drake over this period. He started to kind of dress differently, dress like Lil Yachty, the way he styles himself.
Yeah, the hair, the painting, the nails, like he's trying
differently, and he even started wearing the nail polish like Lil Yachty. And we see Nicki around Ice Spice and JT, and they are both super involved in the streaming world right now. The streaming scene is extremely hot right now online. It's probably the biggest scene that you can get into online. And Drake has been on calls with Aiden Ross and Kai Cenat on stream,
as he should be.
He even gave out a shout out to his streaming homies in the song. I forgot which song it was in particular, and he even directly shouted out and said Kai Cenat's name on the song Push-Ups. And to take things even further, Nicki Minaj actually appeared on Kai Cenat's stream in Kai Cenat's bedroom like everyone else does, and was in there, and she had a good time, and it was a cool little stream or whatever, and she had Kai Cenat perform at her show and had Phantom and stuff and shouted out Your Age. Like, they are both very tapped into this streaming audience and this streaming wave, and that's not an accident. Okay, that's very much on.
Well, I think any artist should be tapped into the streaming wave, even if you're newer, older. That's the equivalent of going on 106 in Park back in the day when you got an album coming out. You go on 106 in Park, you promote your album, you debut your song, debut your video. Streaming has kind of taken some of that market share.
Purpose to appeal to a younger audience, to appeal to the people that watch Kai Cenat, which most people that watch Kai Cenat aren't very old, let's just say. And I want to make this very clear as well. There isn't anything inherently wrong.
You look like Tizo touchdown right here. In the chat, I'm reading some of these chats. Hold on. The problem I have with this narrative is that Tyler, the Creator, grew with his audience. Not preach. I'm so glad that I'm so glad the people that watch my channel are smart. And by the way, subscribe to the video, subscribe to the channel, like the video. I'm so glad the people who watch my stuff is smart. See, I wouldn't even thought of this. I would have to really think hard about this. The problem I have, Jay Phoenix, with this narrative is that Tyler, the Creator, grew with his audience. He didn't change. He just matured and became less edgy while gaining new fans. And we saw the pop at the Kendrick pop-out show. We saw the pop that Tyler got when he came out. Only person that got a pop that big was Kendrick when he came out. People still love Tyler. And yet Tyler has matured. He's not rapping about, sexually assaulting women anymore or abusing pregnant chicks and ripping his fingernails off in videos and throwing up and all this. He's matured with his music. So that kind of goes against the narrative that you can't, in order to grow, you don't have to just appeal to the young audience. That's very true. And Tyler, to grow his audience, he reached outside of music. He had a show on Adult Swim. He's doing, fashion. He's doing other things. He grew. Me and Drake are the same age, and honestly, he's regressed. Songs like Trust Issues. Trust Issues is like my favorite Drake song. Look What You've Done. Club Paradise were introspective facts. Now he's pettier, bitter, secure, and a troll. Yeah, it's interesting. Drake's earlier music, even though I'm not a fan of his music, there's like 3 Drake albums that I like. His earlier music was more mature. Drake feels like more of an incel. People are put up by Drake as a person. That's why the music feels repulsive. I think it's overshaded. I think the majority of people still like Drake. I think when he drops an album, it's going to do better than his last album because he's got the fanfare and the engagement from the beef with Kendrick. Even though he lost, he still has those eyes on him. Like when I drop a Drake video on my channel, it's going to do numbers. Even this stream, this stream is doing way more numbers than other streams I've done because Drake's name is in it. So it's not like people don't care about Drake. I don't buy that. Like Drake's, let's see, Drake devolving. I work with kids too. They look at Drake like the college student at the high school party trying to blend in. For real? Not only is Drake not growing, he's being perceived negatively. That's the worst combination. He's talking about a lot of street stuff now, like he wants to be feared. All the gangsters are grew up gangbanging in their youth and eventually matured. Like, right. And that's like the Chris Brown thing. Like, how do you start gangbanging, at age 20? Strange. Tyler will absolutely say flagrant stuff. What are we talking about here? Like, Tyler, I'm not saying Tyler won't say flagrant stuff, but do you remember Tyler when Bastard came out? After the stream, go watch the Tyler, the Creator video, VCR. It's a song called VCR. It's a video. He has a blow-up doll. He's graping the doll. Grape. I said grape. He's tying it up. He has duct tape over it. Like, and this was par for course for Tyler, the Creator. He has matured vastly. And his music has gotten better. Like, his production has gotten better. His lyrics have gotten better. He's more comfortable with his voice to where when he's making music, he doesn't feel the need to use all these different effects. I know on the Igor album, he used effects. But like early on, it didn't seem like he was as comfortable. Like, he's matured in every way, musically. As a person, I don't know. The Shoe Fits on Scary Hours 3 is a fire and very mature track. Again, I don't listen to Drake music anymore. I hear it when I hear it, but I don't really listen anymore. But the stuff I have heard, like, I don't listen to his whole albums, I'll say. I stopped doing that with Dark Lane demo tapes. But like, The Shoe Fits, is that an exception to the rule? Is the rest of the album not that mature? Because like even Drake's hits, early on his hits, Fancy, oh, you fancy, huh? Those are like mature songs. Hair done, nails done, everything did. This is not like a song for little girls. This is a song that's going to appeal to grown-ass women. You fancy, hair done, nails done, everything did. You just got off work. Like, it's not appealing to like 15, 16-year-old girls. Like Lil Yachty is appealing to like 15, 16-year-old boys. You know what I mean? How do you feel about some Drake fans trying to discredit Kendrick because they favor Drake over Kendrick? I hear a lot of people say that Kendrick is not successful on his own. Well, I mean, they're just, gobbling. They're gobbling, genitalia. They're not. There's nothing you can say to those people that's going to change their mind. Drake has declined until he drops some hot shit in a full rap album. I would actually like to hear a full R&B album from Drake. I would like to hear that. I would listen to that. But Drake's raps, there's nothing he's going to say that I haven't heard already. I don't even listen to it. What is so mature about Tyler flexing his ass off on Call Me If You Get Lost? Yo, Tommy Fitz. And I reacted to Call Me If You Get Lost. I don't like Tyler's rap music. I don't like when he raps. And I don't like when he flexes. For some reason, like I said this in the Call Me If You Get Lost review, I reacted to every single song. But it's more mature than his earlier music. I can only, like, I'm trying to figure out a way to explain it to you with, to someone who maybe have not heard his music, but you have to go listen and watch to Tyler's earlier stuff. Like, Tyler is one of those artists who has matured the most. Tyler and Mac Miller, R.I.P. Mac, compared to their earlier stuff, they like have the biggest maturation that I've ever seen in hip hop from any artist. Me personally. If you don't listen to Drake, how can you have an opinion on him? I don't listen to his whole albums. But what am I really saying about Drake where I need to hear his current music? I'm not commenting on his current albums. I'm not saying, yo, this album sucked. Oh, but I didn't hear it. Like Polar Opposites, Fat D is a mature track talking about his come up. People confuse hypervisibility with respect. Drake has lost some respect, especially with his battle. I don't think so. I think the people who didn't like Drake still don't like Drake. The people who liked him still like him. I think it's overstated. You know, this idea that Drake has just lost all these fans and he's taken irreparable harm to his career, I think it's overstated. Yeah, it started with Cherry Bomb, the shift to maturity with Tyler. Facts. Growth doesn't mean your subject matter is old. It just means we can see progression as a person. That's true, FN.
Along with, like, you know, appealing to a newer and younger audience, there's nothing inherently weird about that, to continue to try to be in the limelight and continue to try to be pop culture #1. Like, it's very understandable, but that's just the very clear difference between Drake and Nicki and guys like Kendrick and Cole. There's just two different objectives going on here. Two very different objectives when it comes to how they're moving in their careers right now. Rap as a genre has kind of been designed to have the old be taken out by the new, and that just hasn't happened in so long.
Hasn't happened
that
yet.
People have gotten tired of them. People are sick of Drake and Nicki.
Hey, see, I don't think so. I don't think that's true, because if that were true, they would not still be selling. Nicki is by far the highest selling female rapper. Drake is one of the highest selling male rappers. I just don't think that's true, or people are just sick of them. I think people still love Drake and Nicki.
Are feeling like they've been shoved down their throats for 10 years now. People
15,
have started to develop
20.
go away heat for Drake and Nicki, to kind of use a wrestling term if you even really know what that means.
Yeah.
And there really doesn't seem to be any heirs to the throne. There's no real threat to their top spots at the moment right now. The only way it really feels like these two will ever come down from that #1 spot is if they just do something completely unredeemable with real proof, which even that might not be enough.
Yeah, case, like if that embassy get raided, like Kendrick said on Meet the Grams, that would be a surefire way.
Or they just kind of bow out and retire on their own and just go live peacefully on a beach somewhere. But besides that, it doesn't feel like there's any real threat to what they're doing, and people want to see somebody take that spot away. They're just tired of seeing the same faces. And I
just disagree with that. I think people still love these artists. I think people still love Drake. Again, just as a content creator on YouTube, any video I can do a video about Drake and a video about Kendrick. The Drake video is gonna get more views. That's just facts. Like, people are still very interested in him, bro. Like, and come on, like.
The longer you're in the #1 spot and in the limelight, the more people are able to poke holes in your character. Would people be able to talk badly about Drake and Nicki's character regardless? Of course, yes. They've done stuff that a lot of people will never be okay with, or maybe have been accused of things that a lot of people will never be okay with. But when you've overstayed your welcome, people really start breaking you down. They really start looking for anything to critique you on, and the microscope becomes even bigger, and the dirt that you do is more valuable to people because you're still in our face every single day. You're still being the #1 topic every single day.
I hear what he's saying, though, but they're the #1 topic for a reason, because people still care. Top 5, you think Kendrick could have done anything more to truly finish Drake off? I think, pause, facts. I think Kendrick, he had more weapons. He had more, like, tracks ready. I think he does want to finish him off, pause, but it was a submission. Drake basically tapped out. So, like, as an honorable opponent, as a samurai, you don't stump your opponent out. You knocked him down, he quit, it's over. You don't stump him out. Cat said 2024, shout out Cat Williams, it's over. It's not even about the winner at this point. Birds of a feather flock together. If PDF file means nothing to someone, hip-hop needs to have a category for grown-ups, just like rock music have category for soft rock, hard rock, alternative, punk rock. We need to have these categories in hip-hop. Sure. I guess I hear what you're saying. I don't know if I agree, but I hear what you're saying.
If a story came out tomorrow about Jay-Z, let's just say, being rude to a fan, and, like, I don't know, like, he pushed a fan that asked for an autograph, there would be people talking about it. It would be a story, but it wouldn't be, like, massive, groundbreaking, oh my gosh. But if Drake or Nicki had a situation like that right now, there would be think pieces on Twitter for the next 6 months, people making 50-minute YouTube videos. Like, this would be amazing.
I remember this scene from this interview. Nicki is talking about how she defers to her man and how she lets her man lead. The audience did not like that. Girl, I'm independent.
Major deal, because they've been in our face so much that people are looking for literally anything to drag them down by. Now, that's not me, again, saying that there isn't anything legit to drag them down by, but it gets even more, increased. The desire to bring them down becomes even bigger.
Sure.
Both Drake and Nicki have a laundry list of critiques that you can have about them that are extremely valid and that a lot of people do. Like a real list of issues that are valid, okay? And things that people just will never be able to move past when it comes to those two. But when we're talking about rap and artists at the top, that's the case for pretty much almost all of them. All right, almost all of them have stuff like that underneath their belt. But when you're at the top of the top, people just tend to kind of quiet those situations. They quiet those conversations. People don't want to talk about it.
What the hell? Is he a T-Rex? What is this? It's a T-Rex fit? Terry Weaver. You said I used to love R. Kelly. I mean, thanks for letting us know. Thanks for letting us know. Drake talks all this type of shit, though. He talks luxury, his numbers, how talented he is, his women. Honestly, best way to describe Drake as a rapper. He just talks his shit. Sure, yeah. People are singing globally about Drake being a creep. It's not a good look. Because of the song. Because they're not like us. I mean, people don't seem to believe me when I say this, but if Drake comes out with his next number one hit, like a God's Plan, like a Hotline Bling, bro, people are going to bump it. It's going to go number one. Like, people are going to continue to sing his songs and love him. I don't know why people just don't believe that. People are acting like there's a huge mark on Drake's career and he's just never going to come back and he's always going to be looked at a certain way. All it takes is one hit, bro, and he's right back in the swing of things. An actual case on him, though, is different. Don't think those categories, they're more relevant, they're more current, it's not personal. We're confusing being topical with being loved. I would say Drake's fan base still loves him. I mean, look how passionately academics in Mall from Roy and Mall defend him. Like, you would think they're dating or something. Like, you would think like Maul and Drake have dated or are dating. The way he I don't even defend Kendrick like this. The way they passionately, like, people love Drake, bro. Like, and people still care about what he's doing. That's why he's topical. Drake now has 2 huge losses under his belt. It diminishes respect. Sure, Jay-Z has a loss, and some people say Jay-Z lost to Dipset. The Swagger Jacker thing. You lose beefs. Drake has also won beefs. He won versus Common. He won versus Meek Mill. He's probably won some other ones that I weren't paying attention to. You win some, you lose some. After Pusha T, people thought, oh, Drake, he's exposed. How could he be that deadbeat? Bro, that Scorpion album came out, Blue Tint, Mob Ties. People forgot people, I don't say they forgot, but they stopped caring. Like, it stopped being like this, indictment on Drake. He's never going to come back from this. And the Pusha T story of Adidon was way more shock value. It hit way harder than anything Kendrick done. Not Like Us was a hit record, but Story of Adidon had the expose factor behind it. You are hiding a child, all this. Like, it had Drake like on the show with LeBron almost in tears. 1, 2, 3 years later, what happened? Drake is back number one. Like, I just think we have short memories sometimes. Drake still didn't change since he was 23. Nicki wants to be a Barbie in her 40s. Yeah, I mean, I can't say that he didn't change. Nicki's a mother now, so I'm sure she's changed. But again, music, they still want to appeal to new audience. They're still in their growth phase, like I said earlier. Libby said, is that dinosaur bones? That's what I'm saying. Like, what? Let's talk about the vanilla cream bottle from Family Matters, because that was nasty. Are you saying it's nasty like it was a good bar or not? Tommy Fitz, watch what video did I do where I critiqued that whole song? I don't think any of the disses on Family Matters was good. It's in one of my videos. I think it's on my video, Drake's Kendrick disses have aged terribly. None of those disses were hard on Family Matters like that. Push Ups was the better diss record in terms of just pure disses. Jay-Z moved differently after his loss. Did he? I was very young at that time. Enlighten me. Dealing with underage ruins your career. They got to prove it. It's not enough to just say it. I know some of the proof is out there. The Millie Bobby Brown, the 17-year-old on stage, but they got to come and prove it. Otherwise, it's just a song. You know what I mean? It's like Drake saying Kendrick beats his wife. Like, it's just, you got to prove it. Otherwise, it's just a song. Drake is losing hip-hop credibility. His pop fans will still be there unless he comes up. If Drake wants to go on any of these hip-hop platforms with these so-called credible people like Elliott Wilson, like Joe Budden, like academics, they're going to welcome him with open arms. He's not losing credibility. Nicki and Drake are both bad people. That's the problem. I don't know them personally. Erica, I don't know if they're good people, bad people. I don't know them. Don't want to know them either. Don't want to know Kendrick either. Don't want to know J. Cole. After Pusha T, he went away and came back with good music. I don't know if he went away. After Pusha T, Drake dropped an album like pretty soon after and addressed the situation. He dropped Scorpion like, I want to say the same year that Story of Adidon came out. He's a pop star. He will always be famous. Nothing hits harder than being called a PDF file. I disagree. I think actually having a case of being a proven PDF file hits harder. Dude can call you anything. Again, Drake called Kendrick a wife beater. It's just a song. I mean, whenever you have a daughter, you'll change. You wouldn't want a 35-year-old texting your daughter. I don't know what that has to do with anything I'm saying. I just think hip-hop as a whole needs to get rid of the attitude of throwing out culture that isn't in their purview, because that breeds kids that don't love music. They're just consumers, okay? I do agree with that. We only got like 3 minutes left. Let's see. Dinosaur Drake, let's go.
Or they just call you a hater when you do bring up issues with these major artists. Like specifically when it comes to Drake, one thing that is like super potent in this kind of scenario is the culture vulture conversation. This is one that we can really kind of sink our teeth into, because the other stuff is like, but this one.
And people have been saying that. I got a video on my channel from years ago. Is Drake a culture vulture? It's never affected him. He's only gotten bigger. Pause.
Specifically, we can really sink our teeth into. The culture vulture things that people have been talking about over the last month, that Kendrick brought up and Kendrick fans talk about, this is not anything new. This is not new criticism for Drake. This is not something that people have just now started saying.
And it's never affected him at all. Like, it's never affected him at all.
This has been something that's been said about Drake since the very beginning of his career. This was like the initial critique that people had of Drake. He's not even really part of hip hop culture. He's not even really like, he's a culture vulture. Some people were even going as far as saying he's not a rapper.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't remember because you weren't around back then.
I know, I remember.
People were legitimately having conversations like, is Drake
a rapper? Yeah, facts.
Can you consider Drake a rapper? How can you say Drake's the best rapper out right now when he's not a rapper? Like, people were legitimately saying stuff like this back at the very beginning of Drake's career.
This is facts.
But once Drake finally becomes the man and we're in, 2015, 2016, and Drake's about to drop Views that's going to sell.
2015, Drake became the man earlier than that. Like, after his first album, he was pretty much him. So Far Going hit the world like an asteroid. Thank Me Later, every single was a hit. Take Care, hits. Drake really became like one of the top young guys, like as soon as he got here, like So Far Gone.
A million first week, a million views, or a million sales first week. Nobody wants to hear that anymore. Nobody's caring about that conversation. If you get on there and say, Drake's a culture vulture, Drake's not really part of the culture, is Drake even really a rapper? People are just going to get in the comments and say, you hating, you just mad because Drake's successful.
Yeah, you don't got bitches, this and that. This is what I'm trying to tell some of the people in the chat. Like, y'all think, Drake has irreparable damage. He was called a PDF file. He's like, I kind of view it differently because Drake is from my era of hip hop. Like, I was listening to them when I was coming of age. So I remember all the critiques on Drake, right? None of the critiques, even regardless of how valid they were, mattered. He still became the number one guy. None of the critiques mattered. And the critiques, someone said something about hip hop credibility. People viewed him as less credible back then because he rapped less back then. He had a lot more. Drake sung a lot more earlier in his career. He don't really sing that much anymore. So the hip hop credibility thing was even more in question back then. Guess what? It didn't matter. It didn't matter. He still became.
Why you
so that's why when You guys think like because of the Kendrick beef and all this, and like he's lost credibility, women aren't going to listen to it anymore. People are looking at him so different. No, all it's going to take is some more hit records. Then you might not have forgotten, but it's not going to matter. Just like the hip hop is Drake a culture vulture thing, people still trying to keep that alive. It doesn't matter, like in terms of people loving Drake's music. Doesn't matter. FN, if being called a PDF file didn't bother him and his label, he would have pushed through and not waved the white flag. Why I think Drake knows that there's like, the Kendrick didn't present evidence, but there's evidence of that to be presented, to aid that case. I don't think Drake wanted that to be pushed any forward. So Drake, I think he knows the shots at him. Even on Taylor Made Freestyle, he mentioned like, oh yeah, say he likes young girls. I heard it on the Joe Budden podcast. He knew the shots. Kendrick didn't present the evidence that currently exists on the internet. I think Drake kind of backed off because he knows the next step, okay, we're going to dig further into this. And rabbit hole is deep. I can go further. Kendrick said this. He didn't want that evidence to start being pushed by Kendrick. So I think that's why he stopped. 29 years from now, you won't even listen to the music. Drake is great, but watch what's getting ready to happen. I don't listen to Drake's music now. I'm not a Drake fan. Your reputation can be damaged in a delayed manner. Just because it ain't hard now doesn't mean it won't hit now. I think the only way Drake's reputation gets damaged is if he actually gets charged or on some PDF activities, or if the embassy gets raided, or if a girl comes and just accuses him, a young girl or a girl who's like, yo, I was 16, 17 back then. Even if she just comes forward and accuses him, I think that is when we can start talking about reputation damages. But off of a rap song with no evidence, y'all wasn't here early in Drake's career. The hip hop community didn't just accept him easily. And he still made it past that. Yeah, he didn't want us digging in facts.
Drake like this, like, go get a job, bruh. You just staying at home and hating on Drake. Like, these were the things that people said about the Culture Vulture conversations once Drake really became who he was in terms of being the undisputed #1 biggest star in rap, maybe the biggest star in music back in like 2015, 2016.
Right, yeah.
And the same can be said about Nicki Minaj when it comes to her being considered a hater or calling her a hater or anything like that. When she was beefing with Lil' Kim back in the day, a lot of people weren't really calling her a hater. They were just like, this is just the old girl beefing with the new girl, and the new girl pushing her out the way and saying, my time is now, right? But when it comes to her beefing with Lotto and Meg Thee Stallion now, it's like, Nicki's a hater. She's this old hater. She's this hag that's hating on the young girls. When this is a very similar situation. Nicki's always been a type of person to be confrontational when it comes to the other people in her genre that are
her peers,
possibly competition.
Right.
But now it's hating. But back then it wasn't hating. It was just, she just wants to be #1. But now it's, oh my God, Nicki's hating on these young girls. Yeah. They have just overall overstayed their welcome. And a lot of people within the culture, more specifically online, most people online, I would say, agree with this sentiment. But a lot of people in the culture are just kind of ready to move past them. And
I don't think so.
They're sick of them being at the top. They're sick of Drake and Nicki Minaj. And obviously, people are actually talking about real critiques that you can have of both of their characters.
You know who the culture was sick of? Daniel Caesar. Some of you are like, who? Exactly. Goldlink got sick of him. Some of you are like, who? Daniel Caesar, Goldlink. When Goldlink drops, he was one of the top up-and-coming rappers at one point. He screwed up his career. When Goldlink drops, or when he drops something on social media, or you make a Goldlink video, nobody's gonna watch it. Nobody checks for his posts. Nobody reports on him. People got sick of him. I think it's just, I'm nitpicking out words. People are not sick of Drake and Nicki. You can go create a Drake or Nicki video, post on social media. People are gonna respond. People are gonna have an aggressive opinion. People care. People are not sick of these artists. Like,
and the things
almost at the end here. Almost at the end.
Trying to ignore that part of the situation. I fully acknowledge that, but I do think that there is an overall sentiment of just kind of when it comes to Drake and Nicki Minaj, just like, damn, kind of tired of them. I think that's what a lot of people feel right now. I think that's the reason why we're having a lot of this discourse at the moment. But again, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's something else. But if you made it this far, I greatly appreciate you. Like, I truly, truly do. If you made it to the end of this video, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Do all those things. It helps me out a ton. I go by the name of Justice. If you made it,
shout out to the boy. I used to be pet. Let me get him his whole view. Watch to the very end. So yeah, great video. I like that video. Go subscribe. I used to be paying. Get him to 30K. Almost at 30K. Again, if you're watching, subscribe to my channel too. You want to subscribe to mine, subscribe to Payne's, you know what I mean? But yeah, let me read the chat. Goldlink spoke on Mac Miller after he died and everyone checked him. Yeah, and we got sick of him. People unfollowed him. People stopped caring about him. People stopped posting about him. That's being sick of an artist. The Dirty Bubble says, damn, I completely forgot about Daniel Caesars. That's my point. That's what it looks like when the people get sick of you. You become irrelevant. Drake and Nicki are the furthest thing away from being irrelevant. The furthest thing. How about new album? We need a Farmer's album reaction. yeah. Farmer's album. Again, I said earlier, Echo, shout out to Echo in the chat, by the way. I think, Echo, you were here when I tried to react to the Houdini song. That's why you get the Farmer's reference. That's like an inside joke. I don't think I'm safe to react to Eminem's music. Like, you were there during the Houdini reaction. We got pulled down mid-song. I don't think I'm safe to react to that. But I'll probably do an angry album review of the new M album. Hopefully sometime this weekend. It's a long album. It's like an hour plus. So listen to it a couple times. I'll do an angry album review. Drake will never not do numbers, but I think there has been a seismic shift in how he is seen. I think that's like social media blinders. We have the social media glasses. Because a lot of, like, the Kendrick fans are amplified on social media right now. The average person just is not looking, at Drake, or not even the average person, the average listener who has Spotify, who has Tidal, is not just looking at Drake totally different. And the numbers prove it. I mean, Drake was co-signed by Wayne, which held some weight back then, true. Drake's latest move have been surprising because the tracks are not hitting so far. Well, Drake ain't really dropped a solo song. Like, he's more featured. He featured, like, the Sexy Red song, You My Everything, that went crazy. That's currently going crazy. So, and that was after the beef. BBL Drizzy, like, he rapped on the BBL Drizzy, that's currently going crazy. The Camila Cabello stuff ain't going crazy, but that's, like, a lot due to her. Like, she needs to do some work as an artist because you a pop star, you have all this funding behind you, you got these high budget videos, you got 2 Drake features. If you can't sell the record, if the record not going crazy, that's your fault. like you have everything going for you, plus the Drake features. Pusha T exposed a lot about Drake, and he only got bigger. Facts. Something serious needs to happen to get him truly out of here. Right, and I'm not wishing that on him. I'm not wishing, like, something bad happened to Drake or something. But yeah, Drake was truly exposed by Pusha T. Drake wasn't exposed by Kendrick. Kendrick didn't expose anything. It was just Kendrick out-rapped him and he had a hit song. Pusha T's was, like, more damaging. And in that moment, in the days after, people were like, oh, Drake, it's like the same thing people are saying now, irreparable damage. Oh, he's not going to recover from this, and how could he? And then it just didn't matter. 5, 6, 7, 8 months later, it didn't matter anymore. I've been to rap since the 80s in the East Coast rap battles in the club. Shout out to Terry Weaver. Shout out to the old heads. Real life people don't care about Drake. Only online people care about Drake. I say people are sick of Drake trying to act tough online and offline. The club worked. Never played Drake. I just think it's false. You can go in the street and ask 100 people who their favorite rapper is. Bro, at least 50 are going to say Drake. Or you go in the street and just interview 100 people. Tell them, name 3 rappers. 70% of those people are going to include Drake in one of those 3 rappers. Like, again, saying people don't care. No, people don't care about Daniel Caesar. Who? Exactly. Goldlink. Who? Exactly. Oh, I remember Goldlink. What happened to him? Right. What happened to him? Yeah, nobody cares about him anymore. Anyway, the people will move on. Dirty Bubble, one of your messages got retracted. Again, if you guys are in the chat and your message ever gets retracted, That's YouTube. That's not me. I don't retract any messages, no matter how rude. I'm sure yours wasn't rude though, Dirty Bubble. Just try to, whatever you're trying to say, just like censor it or something, so that way YouTube doesn't automatically censor it. Aaron said you're gonna be surprised about M's album. There's nothing Eminem can do to surprise me, man. There's nothing you can do to surprise me. You guys are gonna be surprised by my review. Bring the stands out and the farmers. Damn, the gold link exactly. We're the rural farmers from Idaho. Yo, shout out to them farmers in Idaho, Iowa. You get me? West Virginia, all that. FN said, yeah, but even his features aren't hitting. Well, what features are you talking about from Drake? Because the Sexy Red, You My Everything, Bella, You My Everything, people love that song. And Drake is featured on that song, rapping on the BBL Drizzy shit. People love that song. That's like one of the hottest songs in the street. He's got 2 features with Camila Cabello that aren't hitting, but her whole album isn't hitting. That's her fault. I hate that people are putting me in a position where I have to defend Drake. Like, I never fuck with Drake's music. Like, Aaron in the chat, he can tell you, like, you was there, like, 2010, 2011. I've never liked Drake's music. Never been a fan of him, ever. Glazing like crazy. That's what I'm saying. Like, y'all making it seem like I'm glazing for Drake right now. It's crazy. FN said the Sexy Red collab is going crazy. Really? Yeah, let's see. I've never once listened to this song on my own volition. I've only heard it because other people play it. Yeah, it's number 12 on US R&B and hip hop on Billboard. People love the song. It's going crazy. Like, what else is there to say? Take Keith on the beat. Take Keith, fuck these niggas up. People love this song. The youth isn't behind Drake, which is kind of the problem. I will have to look at the stats. I don't know how the youth feel about him. Let me take it off of here. I hate like the bright white. Where we at? There we go. I think people are in denial about what just transpired with this beef. It's not a death sentence, but something has shifted. Well, what do you think has shifted? I don't think anything shifted. I think dude just lost a rap beef. It happens. Jay-Z lost one. Drake has won some. Common's lost one. Like, Ice Cube lost one. Sometimes you lose. 50 Cent lost one to Game. Like, sometimes you lose. I think you're being a little biased, bro. Imagine me being biased to Drake. Imagine that. I love Drake's music, but I think you're being a little biased. All right, well, I'll tell you, Rajia, you love Drake's music. I dislike his music. So I have no reason to be biased. M's controversy isn't even hitting the same. Yeah. You guys will see on my Eminem album review. Tommy Fitz said, peep the vanilla cream breakdown. You pointed up, but I don't see where you broke down the vanilla cream. Just watch my video. Drake's Kendrick disses have aged terribly. I break down that whole Family Matters song. Terrible disses by Drake on that song. Bro, the new Slim Shady album, he actually bring back his older cadences and flows. What you gonna see? Me personally, I don't care. A dude brought back some old shit he used to do. My thing is, how does the music sound right now? You guys will see on my review. You're My Everything is not everywhere, though, if people love that. I mean, well, You're My Everything is number 12. R&B and hip hop. So, I mean, it is everywhere. Anything charting on Billboard is everywhere. You're in the top 100 songs in the entire world, you're everywhere. That song is getting played. And someone said the young folks not messing with Drake. The young girls love that. Love Sexy Red. Again, I've heard this song. Like, I damn near know the song. That's how much I've heard it. And I've never listened to it on my own. Farmers ready? Yeah, get them farmers ready. Get your hoes. The tool. Get your hoes, get your corn and tractors, rev them up. I might even get a farmer's hat for this one. You gotta do it for the people in Idaho. You feel me? If the Drake stimulus was that powerful, now all those features would be everywhere. Yes, the Drake stimulus, it's not looking as powerful as it once was. I will admit that. It's been played, but is it really everywhere? I mean, it's number 12 on Billboard. Yeah, it's everywhere. Dude got caught a PDF file at an Amazon-sponsored West Coast thon. You think Drake can continue to show his face, straight embarrass himself by going to Michael Rubin's? I mean, I don't think anyone cares about that. You guys will see. Once Drake comes with his next hit, you'll see. Then you'll be like, how could people forget so easily? How could you listen to this guy? Yeah. People don't care. Drake, they wanted nobody, they asked me for it. I'm telling y'all, I know the whole cadence of the song. I never listened to this. You're My Everything was not a hit. Well, again, it's number 12, U.S. hip hop and R&B, and it ain't even been out a month. So it is a hit. I mean, I don't know we can argue opinions. I don't know how to argue facts. The other thing people don't realize is Drake is huge in other countries, not just the USA, right? And Drake is not even from the USA. He's from Canada. And look, he's from Canada. He's huge in the USA. Think about that. People don't realize it. More worldwide, more people like Drake. His music is for the masses, unfortunately. That's facts. This edible kicking in. I'm watching the stream on my TV. Shout out Cash Dodger. Yo, then that edible sneak up on you is crazy. Where we at? Royce lost to Lupe. Right, Royce lost to Lupe. We're not like looking at Royce, he's a bitch and all this. But also, I don't think Lupe exposed anything super crazy about Royce. So he just outbarred him. I don't think much of anything has shifted yet. It's too soon to tell, and I'm not sure how much an impact it's going to have on the game. I think that's fair to say, Bronxies. You're not biased at all. I just think history is on Drake's side. Facts. If Drake's stimulus was that powerful, I already read that one. Drake's solo stuff might do numbers. I mean, might. As Drake, I mean, come on, man. I hate that I gotta beat a motherfucker who's over here defending Drake, bro. That's not even my bag like that. What about Billboard overall? Evan says, I don't know. I'm only looking on Wikipedia. Usually it's like the Billboard 100. It doesn't show it on here, but it's on Billboard. Anything on Billboard, it's all over the place. Tommy Fitz says, "Can you see that?" What type of drugs are you taking right now, Tommy Fitz? I don't know what you're trying to show me, man. You came in, you was like, I still love R. Kelly. So you said, I still listen to R. Kelly or something like that. That's cool. Shout out Tommy Fitz though. Be sure to subscribe. I think people's view of Drake, the person, has changed in a way that means a lot of people will automatically scrutinize everything he drops. It's already happened. I think it's just Kendrick fans hate bombing his videos, Samira, honestly. Once Drake really starts dropping his solo music or starts rolling out his next album, like, people are going to stop hate bombing eventually. I think we just see things that happen online and then we just extrapolate that and like, oh, it's if a person is getting a bunch of hate online and, you know, a tweet about them being a mean person is shared 1,000, 2,000 times, we take that and apply it to the entire world. It's just social media. A Drake song got 12. It's not a hit. It's not a Drake song. It's Sexy Red song. It's 44 on the overall chart, which is low for Drake. But 44 is a hit. Like, if anywhere on the, and thanks for looking that up, O'Neal. Anywhere on the Billboard means the song is everywhere. It's one of the top 100 songs in the entire world, and there's like 100,000, 200,000 songs released every single day. You're right, that is low for Drake, but it's not Drake's song. It's Sexy Red song. It's on Billboard specific. O'Neal already told us where it was on the main chart. Kanye's bigger worldwide. Yeah, I'll have to look at the stats. It's disingenuous to say number 12 is a hit for Drake, the biggest artist in the world, right? But it's Sexy Red's song, right? It's not Drake's song. And it is a hit. Anything at number 12 on Billboard, it's a hit. Even if it was Michael Jackson, who's number 1 every single time. If he has a number 12 song in the world on Billboard, it's a hit. It's number 12. It's a hit. Can you see that? Let me see. Oh, yeah. I quit. They're not showing your message. Yeah. Just go put it in the comments into one of my videos. And I'll put it in the comments of one of my videos, and then I'll get to it. Good looking, though, Tommy Fitz. You tried. You've been trying for like the past 30 minutes. I don't rock with Drake at all, but that Trash You My Everything song is everywhere. How y'all denying that fact? Thank you, Dirty Bubble. Like, again, I'm glad people who watch my channel is smart. You know what I mean? It's everywhere, man. Like, I don't want to say I can rap the song word for word, but I know how that song goes. And I've never listened to it myself. I've only heard other people play it on TikTok, on Instagram. People love that song, man. They're not like us three on Billboard. Not bad for calling someone a PDF. Yeah, that's because the video just dropped. Like, Kendrick and his team were very meticulous with how they dropped the video. They wanted to wait till the song started sliding down the charts, then we're going to drop the video, bring it back up. Twitter been lighting Drizzy up. It's just Twitter. The biggest songs aren't on genre-specific charts. Well, O'Neal already said it's number 44. You My Everything is number 44 on the overall Billboard chart. I just want to see the numbers on Drake's new album before we can say if his run is over. That's what I'm saying. If people are really sick of Drake and he's overstayed his welcome and he's taking irreparable damage, his next album is going to do dirt. Mind you, Kendrick's recent album is his worst selling album. I don't even think that album's platinum. Just saying. Drake is so insecure he'll crush under the embarrassment. It's so obvious. You can't completely dismiss what happens online. You can't completely dismiss it, but we can't use what happens online as like a macrocosm for this is what everybody thinks in general. If Drake can't even hold number one on R&B charts, how can we say it's a hit? Come on, we can say it's a hit because it's everywhere. And it's not Drake's song. It's Sexy Red's song featuring Canadian rapper and singer Drake. It's not Drake's song. Don't you think Drake has been on the decline for a bit? Not necessarily number-wise because he's such a big artist, but quality or substance. I've never thought Drake was good at all. Again, if you're watching and you're like new to the channel, well, firstly, subscribe. But I'm not a Drake fan at all. Like, I've never liked his music. So for me to say he's been on the decline, I never thought he was good to begin with. So like me, I'm really looking at people who are Drake fans who say, you know, I don't like his new music. I'm just like, why? It's like, what standards do you have to have liked his music in the first place to where now the new stuff is not acceptable? I just never thought any of it was good. He's got like 3 albums that I like. That's it. People still listen to his music. He's just been exposed, but let's not act like he doesn't cling to new artists and pretty much take their momentum. Right, Go Gadget. And Drake has a team of writers who will be glad. They would jump at the opportunity to hand him a hit record. Yo, I wrote this record for you. Boom. Like, you're not beating that. And I don't think Drake was exposed, by the way, Go Gadget. He wasn't exposed at all by Kendrick. Pusha T exposed him. The baby mama and the kid. He wasn't exposed by Kendrick. They didn't get that far into the beef to where Kendrick is pulling out proof and receipts. That wasn't Tommy. That was Terry Weaver. That I wrote. I used to. Yeah, my fault. I put that on you. Yeah, and the diddler. Yeah, my fault. Drake is not even on the overall Billboard 100. Not even top 20. You My Everything not a hit. Well, O'Neal said it was number 44. I mean, I'll go fact check it. Y'all acting like y'all ain't heard this Sexy Red, You My Everything song is crazy. This is if it's not a hit, we could define what we think is a hit. When I think anything on the Hot 100 is a hit. Because you're already in the top 100 songs. But it's big in the streets. The people love that song. You My Everything, number 66 on Billboard. Euphoria is 55, right? So it's on the Billboard charts. It's on the Hot 100, FN. Come on. The people is debunking you in the chat. Tommy Fitz said, I put it on your last vid. Okay, I'm going to check that out after the stream. Popular culture informs what happens online, and what's online influences culture. Cyclical. Drake won't disappear, but he will not be taken seriously. So what do you mean, Queendom Come? What do you mean he won't be taken seriously? Like he's going to drop a record and people aren't going to take the record seriously? Like what does that look like, I guess, is what I'm asking. Because if Drake drops a God's Plan or something like that, they're not going to take it. Like, what does it look like to where when Drake drops a hit record and people don't take it seriously? Just a question, honest question too. I'm not asking that, being an asshole. I really want to know what that looks like to you. Not Like Us is number 3, tracking to get back to number 1 next week, 2 months after its release. Yeah, that's why they were very particular with how they released that, when they released that video. We gonna wait till it slide, then we gonna drop the video, then we gonna be back at number one. We gonna milk this. You think Drizzy playing with fire, posting a Whitney lookalike for his clothing brand? I don't think Kendrick should care about that. This is Drake. Like, Drake doesn't want anything more to do with the beefs on record. He lost that battle. He's just trying to. This is Drake's way of staying in like the social media cycle, in the media cycle, not just social media. This is his way of staying in the media cycle without having to drop music. He does something controversial. People talk about it. People keep his name alive. It's like free promotion, honestly. Drake's next album is going to go crazy. People are going to flock to it because it's Drake, yeah. But also to say if he says anything subliminal about Kendrick, true. I might even listen to his next album. And I ain't listened to a Drake album since 2020. What's happening online is hive mind behavior on both sides. Facts. We can't really assess any impact until at least Christmas. We gotta give at least 1-2 years. Give it 2 years. You might be like, oh, that's a long time. That's gonna let you know if this really affected anybody's career. Houdini, Eminem, 16 on Billboard. Let's go, farmers. I got something for the farmers coming this week. I just need to get some more listens in on the M album. But yeah, y'all are not gonna like my review. I'm gonna buy a farming hat just for this. I'm gonna get my flannel and everything, my Wrangler jeans. Allegedly, Drake is dropping a new song sampling "Man in the Mirror." I saw that rumor too. I don't know how true it is. Will call me retarded. You right, but I'm scared. Yeah, chill. Everything's all right. Have some cold water. Popular culture and online feed each other. Let's not forget that. True, but then there are sometimes online culture, something's very popular, but then it doesn't translate to real life pop culture. Like, for instance, a lot of these female rappers, like JT is huge online. Anything JT says, like from City Girls, some of you I said that, and some of you even were probably like, who is JT? It's JT from City Girls. Formerly of City Girls. I don't think they're a group anymore. She's huge online. She tweets, she gets millions of engagements. She drops a record, nothing happens. She sells like she's an independent artist. This online culture is not reflecting in real life. Bagel says, You My Everything is played in every ATL club. Yeah, I don't know what these people are talking about, man. Bagel, you're right. I'm trying to tell them. You My Everything is a hit. It's a street hit. It's on a Billboard, so I think it's a hit, top 100, but you might have a different definition of hit. To you, maybe only the first 3 songs in Billboard's chart can be considered hit records. You My Everything is a street hit. Let's call it that. People, especially the youth, they love that record, man. It's everywhere on TikTok, man, for real. If Drake times out, generates some mystique, and then comes back, that would be the best thing. All he needs to do is drop a hit. He doesn't even have to do all that. All he has to do is drop a hit record. Try using says ATL clubs are minstrel shows. Hilarious. You gotta let some people in the chat call in to explain these opinions. Yeah, once I figure out how to do that, I would love to do a call-in thing. I think that would be funny. That would be a good addition to the show. Well, once I figure out, how to do that, because I use OBS. I know StreamYard. It's a little easier to do it, but I use OBS, so it's like super bare bones. But yeah, that would be funny. I'll laugh my ass off at some of y'all. I was here. He's going to drop another diss. Yeah, we already talked about that. Tommy Fitz, do you think it's fair to say Drake took the W? No. What? Bro, what? If he can't chart top 20 Billboard all genres, then something is amiss. But we're talking about this song, You My Everything, right? This is not his song. This is Sexy Red's song. This doesn't have Drake's entire machine behind it. It's Sexy Red song. On Wikipedia so far, Mr. Morale says it sells 295 first week, 163 by end of 2022. Okay. Last time I checked, it said it was still gold, but maybe they updated. Let me see. Kendrick, if I just control F, Discog. There we go. Albums discography. Okay, it says gold, platinum. What about RIAA? Let me see. RIAA. Search platinum. Yeah, it's still gold in a lot of places. I don't know why it's not showing the United States in this. Yeah, it's platinum in New Zealand. Shout out to New Zealand. Eminem Basora. Oh, watch out, Boggle. We got some farmers in here. Heart Part 6 is better than Meet the Grant. Tommy Fitz, you on that good dope tonight. Mr. Morale, Big Steppers gross 111 million is the biggest tour by a rapper to date. Well, I guess he's responding to Samira. That's crazy considering it wasn't a smash hit record for the clubs. I wouldn't say it's crazy. It's Kendrick, so I'm actually surprised that he's not platinum in other places because it's Kendrick. And I think this album by Kendrick had more anticipation than any of the other albums. Like my OGs, my older like uncles, and even my dad, like this is the Kendrick album where they were like, before the album dropped, they were like anticipating it. This is the first time like that I've seen people really anticipating a Kendrick release outside of like our hip hop circles. And a lot of people that I know also did not like this album. So considering all the anticipation this album had, especially after the long hiatus, the fact that the album is not platinum in a lot of places, it's only platinum like in Denmark and New Zealand. Hey, how are you platinum with 20,000 sales? Like what? Sales based on sort of. The fact that it's not platinum in a lot more other places says a lot. That's Eminem album is not it. I'm 37, been an M fan. Look, the highlight of that album is him talking about Diddy. Yeah, I heard the Diddy bars. It's a money grab. His core just want to hear him. So it's fire to them. Yeah, I think his core wants to hear Slim, and I'll say this more in my review. He knows his core audience wants to hear the Slim Shady. So he brought the Slim Shady back, but it was kind of like he brought him back to kill him off. I'll say more in my review. Where we at in the chat? Tommy Fitz coming through with the worst takes possible. Shout out my guy though, Tommy Fitz. Everybody go subscribe to Tommy Fitz channel and give him a dislike, in his most recent video. Drake got a top 5. You from Cali? I know finding some farm gear is easy. Shout out to all them. Yeah, shout out to the Mexicans. Shout out to the Mexicans out there. Yeah, I got like a cowboy store near me. I can probably get some cowboy boots, a flannel. I just need a hat. And I'm gonna wear my Iowa Caitlin Clark jersey shirt that I got. Yeah, we doing it for the farmers this weekend. Echo said it's the first time I heard that take from Tommy Fitz. It's crazy. Oh man, Eminem's bottom tier lyrically. I don't say he's bottom tier lyrically, but he do got some cringy bars. Again, I'm gonna go in once I get my cowboy hat. I'm gonna go in on that M album. He should never be put in the same tier as people like Black Thought, Lupe, Aesop Rock. Yeah, I would agree with that. I wouldn't say he's bottom tier. Like bottom tier lyrically is like, Baby Keem, like Tierra Whack. He's not like bottom tier. Cash Dagger say you from San Pedro. Yeah, where are y'all from? Before we head up out of here, where y'all from? You already know I'm from LA, so LA stand up. I'm trying to find where Samira said this album is platinum. She said it's one. She said it was on Wikipedia 1006 or 1063. Oh, yeah, this is where she's reading it. According to the magazine, why isn't it according to the RIAA? Moved a total of 1 million of album equivalent units. Let's see this source. Like, why does this website have this? Like, where are they getting this? I mean, it looks legit, but where is Kendrick on here? Can I control F, find Kendrick? No, it's like a picture or something. It should be up here if it was, okay, right here. Album, songs, yeah, streams. But where are they getting this information is the question. Are they the RI? Are they a subsidiary of the RIAA? And why can't I look at the RIAA? Well, I guess the label also has to certify themselves. I mean, I would be surprised if the album is not platinum. But apparently there are plenty of countries where it's not platinum. Jersey in the chat. Shout out Jersey. Cam, that boy, you from San Pedro. A lot of San Pedro in here. It was on the main page. Y'all saw it now somewhere. Jersey, people forget Kendrick tours globally. Morale got a huge boost from the beef. Yeah, morale got a boost, but according to Samira's source, it was platinum in 2022 before the beef. Yeah, the label has to submit it. Yeah, they probably haven't updated it yet. Facts. Yeah, I would be surprised if it's not platinum yet, but even then, it's still his. It didn't perform, like his previous album was 3 times platinum, there's no question. And T-Pab, platinum. 3 times platinum. Yeah, they for sure just haven't updated it, because look, it says 177,000 sales. Do we ever find Drake's daughter? Yeah. If that ever comes out, Meet the Grams is going to be like the best diss track of all time. Reporting live from Inglewood. Shout out Inglewood. I lived in Inglewood for a while. I went to school. What's that school over there by Rogers Park? I went to that school for a couple years. I went to that school from like second grade to like 4th grade. The one right by Rogers Park. It was like kind of down the street from Rogers Park. I lived on Victor Avenue. We used to go to that liquor store on the corner, over there on that corner on Beach Avenue. That was on the Wood. That liquor store in the movie, The Wood, they were out. We used to go there. Mr. Morale is eligible for platinum, but the label has to request a plaque, right? Yeah, I don't think they've done that yet. Because even this isn't updated. This is showing like the sales that it had probably in the first week. All the other albums are showing more up-to-date sales. So, Tommy Fitz said he gonna take all y'all. Do you think the beef would be considered close if Not Like Us didn't exist? Well, Not Like Us was the knockout punch. So to take that out, I mean, if you don't have Not Like Us, without Not Like Us, you don't have Drake quitting on the Heart Part 6. So, I mean, it's still anybody's ball. It's anybody's game at that point. But Not Like Us, you can't just remove that. That was a knockout punch. Or it's not even a knockout punch. That was a submission. And the actual tapping out was the Heart Part 6. I quit. I'm from Georgia. That's a Rainbow bar from earlier. Oh yeah, Rainbow. I don't really listen. I love my West Coast artists, but like the game banging rappers, I don't really listen to them like that. I'll be honest to you. Like Nipsey, like I would have found out about Nipsey way earlier if I just gave his music a chance. But I just saw like the game banging stuff, and I just did not listen to him for a long time. Then when I actually listened to him, I'm like, oh, he's deep. But I ignored him. Like the extra game banging stuff, I'm not into it. Mr. Morale surpassed every tour, including Drake. He's not some underground rapper. That's true. Born in Mexico but living in Kansas. You know, we got farmers. Oh yeah. So yeah, tell all the Kansas, West Virginia. I'm bringing them all together. I gotta find a good cowboy app. I didn't like Meet the Grams. I love every other diss Kenny drop. I like Meet the Grams, but the daughter verse puts it in question. Without that daughter verse, Meet the Grams is awesome. But that daughter verse, it kind of, until it's proven true, it kind of invalidates other parts of the song when it shouldn't. But it kind of does. Y'all sleeping on 616. People need to check out the breakdown. He was dead. People be overanalyzing some of Kendrick's music. Although on that breakdown, there are some stuff that I didn't catch that. But some stuff I feel like it's a reach. And I have a theory, like, I think Ab-Soul wrote some of those bars. Y'all, I know you hate to see it. I move in circadian rhythms of a shooting star. Like, Kendrick has never said shit like that before. That's Ab-Soul's bag. And then at the pop-out show, Ab-Soul comes out with Kendrick to perform that song. Why would Ab-Soul come out with Kendrick to perform that song? J-Rock came out with Kendrick. They performed songs they did together. Schoolboy Q comes out with Kendrick. They perform songs they did together. Ab-Soul comes out with Kendrick to rap 616 in L.A. And then Ab-Soul is singing like the hook or the the intro. The circadian rhythm part, shooting stars and the planetary and all that, that's Ab-Soul's bag. That's never been Kendrick bag. But that's just me. And I was listening to Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe earlier. I'm like, it sounded like Andre 3000 might have wrote some of this shit, like a little bit. But people always said, like early on, that Kendrick sounded like Andre 3000. I don't know. Yeah, Humble Bragger said stop. Yeah, I know. I need to stop. I have no proof of what I'm saying. So I'm saying this to my ear. That it sounds like Ab-Soul wrote some of that at 616. It sounds like Andre 3000 wrote some of that Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe. Like Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe sounds like an Andre 3000 song. I got my drink, I got my liquor, it's nothing else to say, bitch don't kill my vibe. Like, that's Andre 3000's bag. None of the other songs on Good Kid, Man, I said he sound like that. Low-key just want the new Kendrick snippet. New Kendrick music might mess with Drake if it outsells his last album. That last link has interesting comparisons between Certified Lover Boy and Mr. Morale, especially when looking at album sales. Yeah, I think Certified Lover Boy did pretty poorly, too. I think it still sold well for an album, but for Drake's standard, let's see. Again, these obviously are not updated. Like 2 times platinum, certified. It went platinum. It's 3 times platinum actually. RIAA. Certified Lover Boy did way better than Mr. Morale in album sales. Well, we don't know for sure because apparently Kendrick has not updated. The RIAA. Or whatever. Not Like Us was a celebration after the heaviness of Meet the Grams. It was a submission. Not Like Us was the Kimura. You gotta get out the Kimura, get out the armbar. Drake will definitely diss Kendrick at OVO Fest. He will have someone playing Whitney in a music video diss. Kendrick pen in question. I wouldn't say his whole pen is in question, but 616 in LA, like. When I listen to music, I really listen to like what they're saying. Sometimes I tell myself I need to focus on other parts. I just can't be so involved in the lyrics. I've never heard Kendrick rap some of those bars. Like usually with rappers, there's a familiarity. The Michelangelo, I move in circadian rhythms of a shooting star. That's not Kendrick's bad. He's never rapped shit like that ever. Any of his music, he's never rapped something like that. That's Ab-Soul's bag. So I'm not calling his whole pen into question. I'm calling those bars into question. And then why would Ab-Soul come out and perform that song with him? They have songs together that they can perform. Kendrick and Schoolboy Q, they performed Collard Greens. Kendrick and J-Rock, they performed Win. Kendrick wrote that song, Win. Kendrick and Ab-Soul comes out, and then Ab-Soul comes out rapping some of the song. Survival, like. And I was already questioning like the circadian Michelangelo rhythm shooting. So I was already questioning those bars to begin with. Then Ab-Soul comes out at the show and then performs the song with them. Like what? Again, I have no proof of what I'm saying. I take it with a grain of salt. Kendrick used to cosplay as Wayne early on, and then Andre until T-Pav. I wouldn't say until T-Pav. Kendrick kind of had his own sound. Like by the time he got to the Kendrick Lamar EP, he sounded like himself. But yeah, he sounded like Wayne early on. And even on Overly Dedicated, he has a song called Michael Jordan. It's a horrible song, but that's like Wayne's bag. That's him impersonating Wayne. The reason why Not Like Us isn't really impactful in the battle is because Drake is still the most streamed rapper. Why can you say it wasn't impactful? Tommy Fitz, yeah, you come with some crazy takes. How can you say it wasn't impactful? It didn't hit the beef. Shout out Dirty Bummer in the chat, super chat. Been killing it. Thank you. I'm trying to keep the videos coming too. I'm trying to stay in the algorithm. I just need y'all help. Just like the video. Keep me in the algorithm. Let me see. I'm gonna try to close this out for y'all. I know y'all got stuff to do tonight. I usually only try to live stream for like an hour, but sometimes I get super engaged with the chat. Y'all be having me dead, so we go a little longer. You can have all the numbers in the world, but if you don't rise to the occasion, you still suffer a loss. Right. That's exactly right. Arguing with Tommy Fitz automatically gives chat now. Shout out to Tommy Fitz though. You've been keeping it funny in here. I don't know if you're trying to be funny, but you've been keeping it funny. Bible said because Absol don't got a hit to perform. Absol and Kendrick, they got songs they could have did. They could have did like the Black Lip Bastard remix, rapper shit. You know what I mean? There's some stuff they could have did. Absol could have came out there and did terrorist threats. Extra pills, them AK clips, they extra. That whole control system. When have we heard a whole West Coast track from Dot? What do you mean a whole West Coast track? I saw somebody say earlier, like, To Pimp a Butterfly is like one of Kendrick albums where has all West Coast producers. I just replied, like, most of Kendrick albums are all West Coast producers. Like, most of his albums have majority West Coast producers. Good Kid, Mad City has majority West Coast producers. I think like Just Blaze is on there, and he's probably like the only non-West Coast producer on Good Kid, Mad City. Yeah, Tommy want all the smoke. Absol seems to really love 616. That's what I said. And then Kendrick is like, go rewatch the performance. Kendrick, like Absol knows the lyrics to that song. This is my theory. Again, just because Kendrick's my favorite doesn't mean he's above critique to me. Kendrick, it almost seemed like Kendrick, because Kendrick is fucking up on the lyrics to the diss records all night, right? 616 is the one song that he performed where he didn't mess up at all. He has his hand on Absol. Absol knows all the lyrics. Absol is like, it almost seems like he's there in case Kendrick messes up. Absol can, like, no, this is how it goes. This is just a theory, man. This is a theory. Kendrick had everybody on stage for Not Like Us. Proof he ain't right. Okay, now see, no. Now you're going too far. Drake fans did support his last 4 songs, right? Yeah, you can say that, yeah. Because the Camila Cabello stuff, those didn't do what they were supposed to do. We have proof Drake didn't write Mob Ties. Facts. Shout out to Vori. Vori wrote Mob Tie. I don't know if it's true or not, but I heard Absol was a part of the production for 616 in LA. I think he wrote bars on it. I think he wrote bars on that song. That's just, no one's ever said that. I'll be the first to say it. I think he wrote bars on it. That's a fair assessment. I know Eminem said he made all his own boys get out the studio to see if Kendrick, y'all heard this story too, was really doing his own writing, and he did. Yeah, I think Kendrick, I'm not saying Kendrick has all these writers and he's not writing his stuff. I'm saying on 616 LA, there are certain bars where Kendrick has never been in that bag and he's never rapped this way. And this is Absol's bag. I think Absol contributed to that song. Their rap styles are different. They're both lyrical, but they're different type of lyricists. And the shit Kendrick was spitting on 616, some of it is not Absol's bag. I mean, it's not Kendrick's bag. It's Absol's. Echo said it's 12 a.m., bro. I know. Well, it's 9 p.m. here in California. It will be impactful if Drake tanked, but you can't call him a PDF, then listen to him the most. That's Tommy Fitz coming with the takes. He keep coming with the takes, man. That's what you gonna do. Where we at in the chat? Let me see. Like, have you heard him? When have we heard him do something in the style of Not Like Us? Oh, right, yeah. We've never heard that. He's never rapped over a mustard beat. It's a discernible West Coast sound. Well, the intro to Pimp a Butterfly, the G-Funk, that's also a discernible West Coast sound. It's taking the style of G-Funk. He's incorporating funk. So that's also the intro. I forget what is the intro to Pimp a Butterfly? Let me see. T-Pad, Kendrick. I want to make sure I don't misspeak. We have Wesley's Theory. That's a discernible West Coast sound. King Kunta, discernible West Coast sound. Hood Politics, I've been A1 since day one, you niggas boo-boo. Discernible West Coast sound. He's done it before, but he just never rapped with DJ Mustard, you know. Drake has 13 albums, Kendrick has 4. You need to take a statistics class. Drake is supposed to outstream Kendrick, he has more songs. Yeah, that's true. Drake should position himself as a great artist, entertainer, rapper, but not an MC. Drake is a fan of the art, though, so I think he wants to be seen as an MC. I think Absol gave a line or two. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that Absol is the secret behind Kendrick's music. It's just certain bars on 616. I've never heard Kendrick say some shit like this before. Queendom Come said I'm reaching. That's fine. Now, if it come out true, I want you to come back, Queendom Come, and be like, yo, you was right. You know what I mean? Drake been falling out of relevance, not hating since Scorpion was his last big appearance. Everything after has been his core audience showing up. Well, we just said Certified Lover Boy went 3 times platinum. So I don't think that's falling out of relevance. And if you got 3 million core audience, that means you could do 3 million without even going outside your main base. I mean, that sounds pretty damn relevant to me. Trying to say someone else wrote it is ridiculous. We have heard Drake reference tracks more than one. Yeah, we have. Tommy Fit trying to defend Drake. We see you. Watch Drake first Funkmaster Flex freestyle, then watch Kendrick. The difference is clear. Yeah, that Kendrick Funk Flex freestyle, the how he started off with the me and my uncle and my dad was at the domino table, and then he ends the verse. He's like, I don't want to see Kendrick carried by the big six domino. Bars. Carried by the big six basically means you getting your casket carried away. The big six, that's big six and domino. It's crazy double entendre, crazy. That's fair. I'll give you that. Everyone gets a little help. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Those certain bars just stick out to me on that song. That's all. Kendrick was on YG album, produced by Mustard. What song? I'm trying to think what song that was. Kendrick wasn't rapping for his own perspective for half of 16. I think that's one of those reaches. I don't know if y'all seen this video I done. It was more of a comedic video. Just how people overanalyze Kendrick's bars. Kendrick is a great rapper and lyricist, but he's not the type where you need to do like 3-hour-long breakdowns. This one right here. Like that's Ab-Soul, who gets super deep and complex, where you really gotta open the thesaurus and the encyclopedia to even understand what he's rapping about. That's Lupe Fiasco. Kendrick he's on that tier of rapper, but he's not that. His songs are very straightforward. Even Kendrick's deepest song, what's Kendrick's most deep song? How Much a Dollar Cost? There's nothing to break down. The deep part is the message and how Kendrick it's like there's a homeless man, but the homeless man is Jesus, and it makes Kendrick reach deep and down into himself. It's not lyrically complex as one of his deepest songs. Everything is straightforward. It's a very straightforward story. Where it's like an Ab-Soul or a Lupe, they're not as straightforward, or there's double, triple meanings. So when people say like Drake is rapping or Kendrick is rapping from Drake's perspective on 616 or something like that, I think a lot of that's reaching. I think there are some very good parts of that reaction or that breakdown of 616, but I think some of it's reaching. It's like reading Genius annotations. Some of it's right, but then some of it is like, bro, Kendrick did not mean to say that, man. And I know, because I know him. No, I'm kidding. Where we at? Shout out Humble Bragger. Appreciate you. $2 super chat. Kendrick still haven't given niggas his best album. Yeah, Kendrick, he's still got some. He hasn't dropped as much as I would hope. So he still has some classics to give us. RIP remix with Kendrick was that. Oh, yeah. Damn, that's an old song. I'm trying to think how Kendrick verse go on that song. I know how the song goes. RIP. RIP. Oh, yeah, that was a Mustard beat, I'm pretty sure. Jacobs, if you don't rap, you don't know. Kendrick, where am I at? I keep losing my place in the super chats, or in the chat. Kendrick's 3 diss songs outnumbered Drake's songs in streaming. He won the beef in numbers. Definitely by 5-1 just on number. Yeah, Drake wasn't supposed to lose the numbers battle. I think that's really what bugs him. Because if Drake would have just lost the battle in terms of just what the people think and, people just say Kendrick dropped better songs, but Drake had better numbers, I think he would hang his hat on, y'all say I lost, but I mean, I'm still the numbers king. But he can't even hang his hat on that. It's a complete loss. Kendrick usually has highly themed songs, so his bag hasn't been heard. I know Kendrick's bag. Rigor mortis, yeah, I know that. Got me breathing with dragon. I cracked an egg in your basket. Your bounce not Marilyn Manson. Don't ask for your favorite rapper. He dead. I remember when that album first came out. Kendrick used to rap it. Schoolboy Q would lay on the ground. Kendrick would go, he dead. And then Schoolboy Q's on the ground. Amen. Like, I was there. I was really outside at the time. Buddy want to be whole so bad. I'm talking about a commercially discernible West Coast bop. Yeah. I know what you're talking about, Bronxies. Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, he doesn't have one of those. He doesn't have like a discernible West Coast song that is also a hit record. Right. Now he does with Not Like Us. but he's never reached. He could have been had one of those. DJ Mustard has gone on record saying, yo, I've been sending Kendrick beats for years. Kendrick could have been had that if he wanted it. You should react to FD Signifier's video. Drake in the Depth of Hip Hop. It's long as fuck, but I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Thank you for the recommendation, Samara. I'm going to save that. What is it called? Drake and the Death of Hip Hop. Okay. That might be next week live stream. Someone who has 4 albums has yet to show us the full range of their talent. We've heard Drake on 13 albums. That's a lot. Let me see. 616 is literally from the perspective of Drake. If you tapped in, you would know. I don't know that for sure. I don't. I don't know that for sure. I think it's clear he's rapping from Drake's perspective. Is it clear, or did you watch a video and now that put that in your head? If it was clear, you would have heard the song the first time and been like, oh, he's rapping from Drake's perspective. No one did that. Is it really clear? Or did you watch a video that put that in your head? What's the Dirt does a whole lot of reaching. That's what I'm saying. But What's the Dirt, he also has very good points. He pointed out things that I had not even considered. But me, I'm going to come differently. I'm going to listen to this. I'm going to listen to the 616 and be like, God damn it, it sounds like Ab-Soul wrote some of this shit. That's what I'm going to do. If I were to break it down, I'm not going to be like, oh, this verse is from Obama's perspective. And this verse is from Malia Obama's perspective. Y'all got to watch this parody video I did. It's like parodying how people overanalyze Kendrick. Yeah, I'm not going to listen to 616 and be like, yo, this song is from Michelle Obama's perspective. I'm going to be like, it sounds like my deep breakdown is going to be like, this does not sound like something Kendrick has ever said before. Who wrote this? Not the whole song, certain bars. CC said Troy's an undercover Drake writer. He's trying to hang on to Kendrick fans. Okay. You watch my channel, you know that's not true. But cool. He went a little too deep with the, what is it, depraved sign, and that irked me. What did he say? I don't even remember. That's what I'm saying, though. So, like, when people are reaching like this, and then you trying to tell me this first verse is from Drake's perspective or whatever, it's like, bro, like, I take it with a grain of salt. Bro, yeah. He literally still is a numbers king. Yeah. Shout out to Tommy Fitz, though. We appreciated you. Good laughs. You know, you gave us. Lil Wayne told Drake to keep it Canadian. A video of Kendrick abusing Whitney is the only thing that can save Drake in this beef. Yeah, it would make The Heart Part 6. People will look at that differently. Because now what he's saying, it hits harder. Like, yo, deal with the facts. I'm speaking with facts. Whitney, if you need anything, hit me up and I'll hit you back. Not like Kendrick, though. I hit you. It'll make people look at the song differently. The same way Meet the Grams. If the daughter thing with Drake is true, it'll make people hear that song differently. I agree with that. Also, why is he always mentioning people's women? Yeah, I covered that in one of my other videos. This one right here. Drake has a thing where he just mentions women. He beefs with women. Kendrick on Euphoria said, I believe you don't like women. Don't necessarily mean he think you gay. It's like, I just think you don't like them. Real competition. You might pop ass with them. I knew 616 was from Drake's perspective off break. All right, bro. I believe you. The beginning part was in Drake's perspective. He's mentioning shit only Drake would do. Okay, I'll re-listen to it and I'll try to keep what y'all saying in mind. But acting like y'all just heard that song and was like, oh, he's rapping from Drake's. Stop it. Stop it. I get what you're saying, but it's possible to get clarity from something after someone shines a light on it. No, facts. But being like, yo, it's clear that he's rapping from. If it was clear, you would have heard it the first time and been like, oh, it's clear. Y'all are only saying this because a dude in a video said it. It's true. Now it's been revealed to you, but it's not. If it was clear, you would have got it the first time you heard it. When he starts singing in 616 is when it comes back to his perspective. It's clear and makes sense of that first part of 616 being from Drake's perspective again. Y'all only saying this because of the video, the What's the Dirt, but I feel you. Thank you. You've been watching nonstop these past few weeks. Glad I found your channel. Shout out to Myra in the chat. Peace out to Houston. What's the Dirt said that line was deep because historically black folks were judging our hairstyles. What is it, the braids? Yeah, it's not that deep. It's just Kendrick being funny. You got shit twisted. What is it, the braids? Like, that's it. It's a joke. If he had that video, he would have dropped it by now. Yeah, facts. The point is to use a timestamp title and spit the timestamp flow. All rappers do this. Sing About Me is evidence that he conceptually does it. I don't even think that's Drake's timestamp flow. I don't. Y'all telling me in terms of writing, Heart Part 6 isn't better than Meet the Grams? No, it's not. Kendrick has a few deep songs, right? Yeah, he doesn't really get deep like that. Like Kendrick I would say he has more than a few deep songs, but in terms of like lyrically deep, he's just not that. He's not a super complex rapper like that. Drake has too many references tracks to be considered a top MC. Agreed. Meet the Grand shifted the energy and everyone's taking back. All right, took the win out of Drake's moment. It was a moment, yeah. You had to have been there. Exactly, Dot was just being funny. Plus Drake's braids be so tight. He must have lost his mind. Essentially, yeah, exactly. You got me twisted. You coming at me? You got to twist it with the push-up shit. What's wrong? Your braids too tight? Your hat too tight? This is what people say. Hearing that bar and being like, yo, the African American experience in the diaspora. Where am I? Don't make me bring my dashiki out, bro. But anyways, yo, that's all I got for y'all today. Shout out to y'all in the chat. Appreciate y'all. If you're watching, even if you're not in the chat, maybe you're just lurking, subscribe to the channel. I would very much appreciate it. I've been trying to go crazy with the video drops lately. I'm going to try and do the Eminem review if I can find a good farmer hat, cowboy hat. I already got my flannel. I just need a good cowboy hat. I'm doing it for the farmers this weekend. So I'm going to try to drop that sometime this weekend. It's a long album. I need to get my listens in. But yo, that's all I got for y'all today. Shout out to everybody who donated super chat. I appreciate y'all. And yeah, be sure to subscribe if you have not already. This is Top5rapwebsite.com. Peace.